Yo, hey, yo, what up? What is going on, my frosty friends? What what's going on, my frosty friends? My name is Wintercasice. I said welcome back to Discord Dungeons and Dragons with the Solaires, specifically with Wealth, Belwraith, Wanderer, Stray, Tiny, and our anonymous player Seal. No, I'm just kidding.
Hello.
Also player, you liar.
Well,
I couldn't remember the intro.
They're just a silent observer for tonight, I believe.
I find it very funny whenever someone is like looks at me and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, telling me to stay frosty," and then they turn to me like, "Oh yeah." But anyways, all right, guys, it is pretty freaking late. You guys ready to get started?
No.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
In that case, I guess it's time to know what happened last time on D&D. The Solaires, after escaping the grand battle that happened at Stratford, made their way through using a teleportation circle to the great firestorm wizard's tower in Pegland, aka Bimnotten's master. Upon going to the tower, they realized some various different pieces of information that was beneficial to the party, some personal, and some, in the grand scheme of things, incredibly useful. Going through, they realized that there was a tunnel through Bim's shush computer. Apologies. Through Bim, they discovered that there was a tunnel that connected the firestorm wizard's tower to Moonstone Keep, which was the home of the Lord. Apologies. Lord Marklehaye's home. And going through that tunnel, they encountered traps, tricks, and various other magical problems. But upon some unknown abilities, and using their brains, they were able to come together and figure out how to get through, avoiding most of the tunnels actually. So going through, they discovered what appeared to be a prison. Going through very carefully, they who would they find in this prison but none other than the former Lord of Moonstone Keep, Lord Farron Marklehaye, his wife and the captain of the guard, Dalmar, the half-elf that the party once knew a long time ago. Some discussions were done between party members, and a very long conversation between Blue and Lord Farron, discussing a lot of things that have happened here in Pegland. And now we come back to the party, just waking up from a long rest, and getting ready to go back out, and into Moonstone Keep. All right, go ahead.
I would like to start. I forgot about doing this roll. Because I had a note of this and I just remembered it.
I almost forgot to get my dice out.
Oh shit, I don't have any questions for it. When Belwraith wakes up, he'll just be kneeling on the sleeping pad or whatever he sleeps on, and he'll take a moment to reflect and just tune in briefly to his gods.
All right, so just take a brief moment to kind of go backwards and go to the back of your heads and have a discussion.
Yep.
Okay, so in that case, so Belwraith, you take a moment and you kind of just let your mind lull back to that spot and to speak with apologies, goodness. The omnipotent beings that live amongst your head. It takes a bit longer than normal. It's a bit odd for you because normally they're always agitating you. There seems to be a bit of a distance lately. But suddenly you hear in your head, "Well, look who's here. Has been some time." You didn't forget about little old me now, did you?
I've been busy, whereas you're better at.
Ah! How dare you insult me in such a manner? You just feel you just feel that some familiar feeling of, it has been some time, Belwraith.
I've been busy.
Busy indeed, considering what we've seen through go through your mind over the course of the last week. You and your allies have been dealing with troublesome situations, but quite fun.
He would be speaking out loud, by the way, so if any of the other party members are awake, they're just hearing him talk to himself.
Which would be kind of used to by now.
Normally he goes off on his own.
Oh, fair. But I mean, whenever he talked around, you know what I mean. He's known to talk around. Yeah. So,
Carry on.
like,
I get what you're trying about.
What is it you wish to discuss with us about?
One thing. I can't remember what you called it. There was a fourth, the static U2, and then a fourth.
Hmm?
It was a while out of character. It happened a while ago.
oh, the static. Didn't that start
Do you
when you
remember
got
what,
into Time Temple?
Yeah,
do you remember what I'm on about?
Yes, you're talking about are you talking about the static sensation in your mind that has been getting louder and louder?
No, there was the static, and then Foldier and Yin,
Yes.
and then there was something recently before the Battle of Stratford, and it was like a fourth thing that they had fought off.
It was more of the static had gotten louder and stronger for some reason, and there wasn't really an explanation for it as far as you could tell.
Okay. I'll retcon that.
Okay.
He'll say instead, how's our third been doing?
Well, actually, that's something we've been meaning to discuss with you, Belwraith. It has been getting a lot stronger lately. It's disrupting our ability to talk more frequently. It's hard to say, but it's almost like, how would you mortals put it? A divine disconnect.
Do you have any further guesses as to what it could be?
We have theories, but unfortunately, Belwraith, being in the positions we're in comparison to yours, makes it incredibly hard for us to gather more information. We're not quite the deities we used to be.
We need Mary.
We may need access to more religious texts to find out what's going on.
I don't think we'll find them anywhere soon. He'll just very briefly cut back into reality and see if Bimp's awake.
Actually, Belwraith, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
I have a +7, it's fine. That's a 5, 12.
The moment you kind of take a step back to try to speak with someone, you feel like a click in your brain, like almost as if like you know those moments when you kind of feel like your brain shuts off for a second.
Yeah.
Like you're struggling, like all of a sudden, like you like super brain farted, like you kind of like stare at the floor for like 2 seconds. Basically, you feel that sensation, and then the moment you kind of come back to that feeling of like when you speak with Ian and
Folder.
And apologies, I have their stuff right here.
Yep.
But I say, when you speak with them, that sensation of when you speak with Fuldir and Yen, it's turned off. like as if like you kind of try to reach back into the back of your head again to try to connect with them again. Nothing.
He'll really fucking see if Bim's awake then.
At this point, everyone would be waking up and like getting like armor on and all that stuff. You see, Bimp is like, her dome is down now, and like she's just making sure her book is properly like sealed and everything, and making sure all her enchantments are good.
Bimp,
Oh, apologies. Hey, Bellarith, what's going on?
did your master ever have any sort of religious text whatsoever?
I mean, like, very specific text when it comes to, information on various beings, but as far as, like deeper, advanced religious text, unfortunately, my master was more into the arcane arts.
This is fine. Where would they be? Will they be on our path?
She looks back to where you guys came from.
Already passed.
Yes, it would
The
be...
library that we came from.
It would be from that way. And we'd have to go through all the rooms again.
We don't have the time for that.
Not right now. But I can always see if I can gain access to more information after all is said and done. But from where we're at, it probably would be best if we focused on helping the people in Moonstone Keep.
He silently agrees and prepares the rest of what he needs to do and waits for the rest of the party.
Right. So as you are getting ready to go, what does everybody else do to prepare for going into Moonstone Keep?
Pardon me. Hold on.
It's all good.
Garnan just kind of helps Alosa get ready. That's about it.
Which Alosa... Go ahead.
I'm just double checking. How long does a poison arrow last?
Poison arrows, how I do it is typically when you dip the poison, you have to use that arrow or that dagger within the hour. Otherwise, the poison starts to dry out and becomes less effective. That's why they're typically why they're sealed away.
That's fair. Just double checking.
However, if you use expired poison, does that mean it's less effective or more effective?
Well,
Yeah.
I remember reading something where depending on what kind of poison, if it's dried, it's actually more durable because it like gets absorbed. It's like rather than it's condensed. That's the word I was looking for. But that it's one of those things where it depends on the kind of poison
Well,
and
Snake
how
poison
it's
doesn't
doing
work.
Yeah.
expiration and best before in my mind are like the same thing. So if a poison is best before a date, then after that date it gets worse.
Yeah, and I would agree with Tiny though. Snake poison is one of those poisons that's better fresh than it is older.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because the way snake poison works, I think, if I remember correctly, is it's like more like
It's
a
a
chemical compound. So
It's a blood coagulant. It makes you
yeah,
start to get blood clots.
Mm-hmm.
There's two different ones actually. That's one, and I think that's the more
That's
common
one of them.
And then the
It's
other
like
one is,
rattlesnakes and stuff for that one.
and then the
There's
other one is the exact opposite, in which it makes
Yeah.
your blood very, very thin and unable to hold oxygen.
Yes.
Poison, very dangerous.
Fun to drink.
technically venom. Sorry.
No, it's all good. But yeah, so I would say from a D&D perspective, because of like the specific kind of poison that it is, if you dip your arrowhead into it or you dip a dagger into it, it's only going to last an hour. After that, it will start to after that hour, the poison will have dried out and be null and void.
I need to remember to get myself some of those arrow sheath things.
Rat poison works the other way.
It's That's why there's like specific like people have designed magic sheaths so that when they put their dagger away, the moment they put it actually coats the metal in poison. But it's like that's why there's like magic stuff like that to make that happen.
Well, actually, I don't think it has to be magic. I think they actually used to have special things made for arrows, but
Which would make sense. Be specific arrow carriers. But anyways,
yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, Kazier just gets his shit ready and gets up.
but I say also.
Okay, what was Alosa doing?
I was about to say for Alosa is just basically just making sure all her equipment that she does have is properly set. You know, basically making sure she did lose a lot of her equipment when she got captured, but she still has her grimoire, which she keeps, and her athame that she keeps very close to her. You see that she's making sure that Jiren is hiding him up like towards her shoulder, for obvious reasons, keeping him out of sight.
Yeah.
And basically,
Help.
I seem to be handling things quite well for right now, but I don't really know what to expect going forward.
Your guess is as good as mine.
What would a sea cult use to protect these people?
Fish?
Angry fish.
Angie fish.
A seagull wouldn't protect people; it would eat people.
God, that's not a duck. That's a pelican.
But I mean, from what I've heard, seagulls are bastards.
They're assholes.
They really are.
But they're very but it's very funny to watch videos of seagulls being assholes.
Very.
I watched a seagull. I watched a seagull rip off a fish from a fisherman's hook.
I've seen videos of seagulls stealing people's sandwiches just because fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
But it seems Alosa is very much just like making sure she has the equipment that she needs, and also similar to Bimp, making sure the runes on her grimoire are solid. I'm about to say, if you want to roll an insight check, you certainly can.
I will do that. Where's my d20? There it is. Wait, what? Where the fuck is my d20? Oh, it's already in the box.
I need to get a box for my dice rather than this bag. That way I can actually roll the dice.
Insight? That is a 7.
As a 7, you can't tell how she's feeling, but watching her and Bimp like going over their spellbooks, you with that roll, excuse me, at least you can figure out, oh, books, making sure that they don't get wet, just in case.
Do you have like or do you want me to put the grimoire in my bag of holding just to be safe?
I should be okay. I was just making sure that the enchantments were still good for... Bimp actually showed me how the enchantments of making my book waterproof.
Oh, cool. I might need that soon, actually.
Well, as you're accumulating magic power, Garnan, you're probably gonna want to start writing them down. The more powerful, magically inclined you become, the more harder it will be to maintain your spells.
Maybe I should look into getting a grimoire myself.
You just see Bimp just kind of whoop. Well, the thing is, there's quite a few magic papers and everything that we can look into in various different shops, and I can help out making sure that you have all the proper things that you need for spellcasting.
You know you're eavesdropping, Bimp.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard my name and I thought I was still part of the discussion.
I'm kidding.
I'll be over here.
I don't know how long I was live for in Discord, but I didn't notice until just now.
I could have told you this entire time.
A while.
Yeah.
You stopped playing Minecraft, but it was still going.
You'll have to be the one to tell me what to do, Alyssa and Bimp.
Absolutely. It's definitely an interesting situation. It is similar to a wizard's spellbook, but grimoires typically have a more personal touch to them. And she gives a smile.
Hey, Bim. Never asked you. I'm curious.
Oh,
How do you feel about me becoming a witch?
well, the thing is, how I feel about it is actually, pretty. I'm honestly excited for you. I mean, magic is always very fun to learn, as Losa or Knackle or Blue can confirm. Magic is a very unique thing that is very fun for anybody who is capable of understanding it. But my masters always taught me that witches can be evil, but most of the time they're misunderstood, and their intentions are actually a lot more pure than they seem. Which
College isn't fun.
but the drinking games are. Am I wrong, Blue?
No.
Uh-huh. How many parties did Blue go to?
He was the one who
funny, yes,
made
no.
the parties.
How many places did Kevlar take him?
What's the definition of a party?
A party is definitely questionable, considering the fact that considering who your friend is. A party could go anywhere, depending on. A party can be 2 people.
2 people's a party.
It can be.
Setting a library on fire.
Whoop. But anyways, to just JoJo's to be continued. But the thing is, Bim just kind of, Alosa just kind of nods at, like, the comments that Bim has to say about witches.
If it's any comfort, Garnan, from what I hear, and from what I've seen, witches make very good fires. Haha.
Alosa just kind of gives you a look. Ouch.
That's
Dark.
that's dark.
Too real. Too real.
I didn't even hear what he said, so.
Good. That is really good that Guardian didn't hear that.
Garnan in character. Sorry, I was too focused. What's up?
What did you say? No one's not listening.
Oh. From what I hear, witches make good fires. Haha.
Oh God!
They make good fires?
Yep, too real.
Yes.
Burn the witch.
Pyre, at the pyre and everything. Too
I
real.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Fire
You
is
can burn
something that you
witches.
burn.
Garnan is. I know what a pyre is. Garnan is dense sometimes.
Yeah, Garnan grew up.
And I didn't realize it was out of character that you were in character.
In all honesty, in Tuscadol, witches would probably be very well accepted.
I have no idea what you were talking about, but good job, I guess.
Because you're kind of grown.
Speaking of groaning.
Is that the lizard man?
No, that's
That was
you guys
Uh,
want
I'm-
you guys
I'm
see his.
guard.
Yeah, I was about to say, Blue.
Yeah.
You would be the first one to see Delmar just like regaining consciousness.
Well, hold on. He got a long rest. He should be fully healed. Broken bones, everything. He's gone. He's good.
That's not how that works.
yeah, no.
It's kind of like hearing the argument of like, well, if somebody uses lesser restoration, the flu should go away. It's like, actually, that's more like antibiotics, and you don't want to use lesser
Your
restoration too
disease
much.
would cure your flu.
And even then, that's questionable. But to say, it's kind of like giving you a shot of antibiotics. Like, it would definitely help. The issue is using it too much could actually hurt your immune system.
Oh yeah,
You don't want to use magic to solve all your problems.
true.
It's kind of like relying on.
most-
Yeah, it's just kind of like using medicine to solve all your problems. It's like, your body does.
There's a limit to what medicine will do.
Exactly. You gotta let your body fight stuff off.
That's fair.
So broken.
Good morning, knight in shining armor.
You watch as he looks up at you guys, and I have to roll a history check to see how well he remembers you guys, especially in his blurry state.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you actually still roll pretty decently. He just kind of looks
Yeah.
at, he kind of looks at you guys. Am I still unconscious?
No.
You're
you-
wide awake.
No, you're dead. This is the afterlife.
Don't move.
No intention to.
You
Ugh.
need healing. Or are you going to keep grunting and groaning and not ask questions?
Knuckle basically goes, unfortunately, his wounds are far beyond what our healing capabilities can do. His body needs time to heal. We can only. His bones are now realigned, and his muscle tears have been taken care of, but he still has internal injuries that I cannot heal. He needs time to rest.
We don't have time to rest, unfortunately. We have to keep moving.
Yeah.
Knackle, you're developing a personality.
Am I? Interesting.
You're speaking weirdly.
That is a unique perspective, Gardan.
Belwraith will look down at the person whose name I forget.
Dalmar.
Yep. It was like Demeter, something. I was dancing around.
Demeanor.
Tamir.
Can you stand?
For the most part. And you watch as he stands up, you see you could tell he's rough. Like, he definitely is. If he was on the battlefield and everything, this is the soldier that would be like, go on without me. But considering the circumstances, he's up, and he basically kind of reaches down to his boot, and you watch as he just pulls out what appears to be a very large dagger.
Belwraith would help him stand up and kind of just force him to lean against him.
He is not going to fight you on that because he really does not have room to argue.
Whoa, careful there, Wraith. I start making think. Jesus Christ! I may think you actually have a heart soon.
Gizier just kind of chuckles.
I'm beaten, I'm bruised, I'm hurt, but nothing will stop me from protecting Lord Farron.
He's right there.
Which you see Farron is fully dressed up. You see him in armor, like straight up plate armor. And you see his wife, who is currently in her robes, which you guys know are pretty torn, pretty worn at this point. Obviously, she's been inside of this in a cell for a while.
Oh, I'm surprised they haven't asked Bolvin.
No, I'm about to say, they seem pretty preoccupied in the moment of just being happy to see you guys in general, and seeing how large your crew is.
Just a little roleplay thing. Kazier would give the nice clothing he found on Corvus's body to the wife.
You want
Which they
which
probably wouldn't fit too well, but better than wearing a raggedy dress.
which would be Lady Alan, just so you know.
Lady Alon.
You have to. Her name is Alonda, but she prefers to go by Lady
Alon.
Alan.
Fair.
She will actually look at it and she will go, one moment, please, as she kind of wanders off for a moment.
Kind of goes back to the cell that she came from, which is a little out of the way, and changes her clothes.
A few moments later, you see her wearing Corvus's clothes, which actually she's done a little bit of remodeling to make it fit her a bit more properly. Basically, you can tell she's not really wearing his armor per se, but more the clothing that was along with the armor. As of her class, she can't wear that kind of armor. But yes,
fair. He only gave her the nice clothing that was labeled.
Fair. Yes.
Just,
I apologize that we weren't here sooner than expected, but I mean, you're still kicking.
Better late than never, I always say. You just see Dalmar just kind of go. He kind of spit on the ground. I had him on the ropes.
Has Garnet met these people?
Garnet has actually.
Oh yeah.
Very, very briefly, you met them. You were basically they were just getting ready to leave town, but you didn't meet with them. Farron is you know Farron as the Lord because you've also come in and out of Pegland. But the thing is, you've met him face to face. Alond, you'd probably be questionable because you never really saw her. And you've met Delmar more than your fair share of times.
Okay.
Belwraith wouldn't know any of them.
No, you only know hearsay, Belwraith.
Yeah, but I'm still helping them out.
Objection, hearsay?
Objection, hearsay. But you watch it suddenly. You watch the dagger start to glow green. I'm still good to fight.
We'll try and keep you out of the fight as long as we can.
You watch.
Nevertheless.
You watch as Philman kind of walks up to you, Blue, and kind of pats you on the shoulder. Now, son, don't you worry. I'll make sure that he stays out of the fight. I need you to keep that mind of yours in sharp intact. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
As long as I don't end up like you guys did, I'll be fine.
Well, I mean, you can't be the only tank in this party. You watch as he steps forward and looks at Dalmar. Besides, he's a seasoned soldier. I assume he knows not to get himself into too much trouble. That's my shield. Indeed, and it's a nice shield.
Kids here laughs. That makes sense. But
We would give you an extra set of armor, but your armor's in the chest over there.
Yeah. You watch.
oh wait, could I give him the armor?
If you wanted to, you could give him the armor, which you would know that that Corvus wore studded leather. However, Dalmar's was plate mail.
Well, I mean, you said it was shredded, so it's pretty much worthless.
Yeah, it is. About to say it, pretty destroyed.
I know it's not your style of armor, but why am I speaking like that? Get it.
He has a southern
I know
accent,
it's
apparently.
not your style, but it's better than nothing. He hands him the. My tongue got twisted.
You hand him Corvus's
Hands-
armor.
Yeah, thank you.
As the Ander fella was able to turn plate mail into chain mail.
Yeah, I've never seen someone fight like that.
Be glad you didn't meet any of the Empire.
He was for a big guy. He was a lot faster than I expected.
That sounds about right. He's slippery like a snake. That's where they worship.
You watch as he dons the studded leather, which you could see that. I mean, it fits him perfect. Corvus and Dalmar have a similar physique, so it actually fits him pretty well. The only thing is that you could tell that Corvus's muscles are a bit more. He's a bit more built than Corvus. So Corvus was.
So it's a little bit tighter in certain places.
Yeah, basically from the perspective of oh, how is he doing with his armor? It's this armor is good for him. It definitely fits him just fine. It's just you can tell his body was honed specifically for wearing plate mail and all that, similar to how fighters and barbarians would handle armor.
I apologize that we're not giving your shield back. I have a spare if you'd like to use it.
He'll actually kind of smile at that. For the heroes of Pegland, Yeah, I guess I can take your shield.
I'm gonna give him a shield.
But I say, is this the lighter shield that you picked up along your travels?
Yeah.
You watch it again. He's lifting it no problem. Again, the way his muscles are built, he's obviously meant for carrying, pointing at the giant white dragon scaled shield.
The heavy shield.
Yeah, the heavy shield that Philman is currently holding on to. You watch as Dalmar kind of walks up to you guys, specifically up to you, Blue, Kazir, Garnan, Bimp, and Knackle.
Everyone that's in the group, basically.
Yeah, basically everyone except for like Alosa, Philman, Karak, and all of them. Basically, he's coming up to you guys and is just, it's really good to see you guys again.
Well, I heard about your experience once I came to visit when Theander was in charge, and it's hard hearing that your friend just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
We've been down here for a while, unfortunately. But we should get going if we want to go. But before we do, we need to have a small discussion. And you watch it,
Alright.
and you watch as you watch as all of a sudden appearing before you guys, a table is right in front of you guys. Alana just kind of goes, "Well, I figured we better sit down for this discussion."
That's
Makes
good
sense.
to open up on.
You watch as she kind of smiles as she kind of moves her scepter around a bit. And she is actually going to use her wand, mutter some words, and all of a sudden you see a map appear on, like basically a parchment appear on the table. You watch as Farron kind of looks at Alon and goes, "Thank you, dear." So, you watch as he starts to draw on the map. This is what we're looking at.
Kazir leans over and looks carefully at the map.
So, above game, bad to say, I'm going to talk very briefly, and you guys can interject as you please. I'm just letting you know that ahead of time, he's basically going to give you the lowdown of, like, where the tunnel goes.
Gotcha.
Alright, so, with where we're at currently, we haven't had anyone else go through the doors. Obviously, because they couldn't solve the puzzle that was attached to it. Thank you again for... He looks to you guys. Because at the end of the last session, you guys solved the last riddle that opened the door.
I did.
Indeed
Yep.
you did. And in doing so, that we haven't seen any new person in about a week. Fortunately, we still had plenty of water from all the visits prior that we were able to survive. It's actually very fortunate that you guys showed up when you did. But going through this tunnel, this will lead us to one of the lower levels, under the lower level just below the throne room, which actually works in our favor. As you see him continue to draw lines, you know he shows you that basically like going straight and then going through what appears to be like a portcullis, which I assume you guys know what I'm talking about.
I should, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
A portcullis is essentially like a secret door. It's like it's like a section of a wall that actually opens up that allows you to get through. It's kind of like
we encountered that in the town. Not Pegland. The town just before. Yeah, anywhere.
Through the mountain. Oh, we were just singing that song last night, actually. But that's a discussion for another time. But essentially, like if you played any RPG game or anything like that, Skyrim has them. I grew up with Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, which had a lot of them. But essentially, And they actually just released Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, and for a remake. Again, I digress, but I'm just super excited about it. But anyways, he basically shows you like the portcullis that they use to get through. Unfortunately, more than likely there will be a guard. Now that they found out about the tunnel.
Well, me and Kazir can kind of take on the guard a bit. He's trained me in being a rogue.
Yeah.
A bit.
Nothing wrong with being stealthy.
Best way to get around things.
But
Around trouble.
that actually might be quite useful, considering the fact that I do not have keys anymore to the keep. They were taken from me. And if what you all said was true, more than likely the person who has my keys is trapped in a door somewhere.
Yeah.
So I need to rely on you to be able to help get their cells open.
No problem.
3 of the people in this party can use thieves' tools. That's not something to say to a lord, but
Given the circumstances, my boy, I'm willing to let you off with a warning.
Thanks.
But if we go down this way, we take the right and we go straight forward from there. Hi, Blitz. Are you
Oh, hey.
going through this area? We should be able to get to the dungeon pretty quickly. However, as far as I know, there is a beast that lives that has been guarding that area. We need to be careful.
all right.
Thanks for the heads up.
Mm-hmm. The one thing we're gonna need to do, based on what I understand, when it comes to the magic we need to get away, we're going to need to get to a place, a safe and dry place, to get all the citizens out.
So, Winter, to reiterate on my question from earlier that you didn't answer because you were preoccupied, will we need roll 20?
Possibly. I have it open just in case. Some of this stuff will have to kind of be theater of the mind, and I hope that's okay.
Yes.
Yep, that's fine.
But I do want to do some more elaborate stuff going forward using Roll20, and I'm very excited about it. But I need some time to play with it and actually kind of get more comfortable with it.
I don't know if you ever watched that video I sent you. That's really...
I did, but I'm going to be watching that as well as some other, like, just plain old tutorials to teach me how to do things.
Okay. Sorry for...
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. Basically, a lot of it's going to be theater of the mind. If we need to start going into, like, more deeper specifics, I have Roll20 up to, like, make some impromptu maps. Make sense?
Yeah.
I will say, I much prefer impromptu maps, even if they're bad, because I have a hard time imagining things. So, like...
That's fair.
Same. I have a hard time keeping track of who's where and what, you know.
Yeah, me too.
When it comes to imagining things, it's easy, but just keeping track of the wheres of, like, you know.
Absolutely, and that's going to be something that, again, going forward, I'm playing with more stuff with Roll20, but obviously, like, that also requires time. And
you are limited on time.
Considering how many double shifts I've been working lately, yeah, it's been a bit rough.
Especially with another kid on the way.
Exactly, that will be something to go over as time goes on. Also,
he hadn't announced that yet. You just leaked it.
Oops.
How dare you?
Sorry about that.
How dare. But I say, I'll be making a video on it soon, so don't worry about it. It's okay. But I say, also, Blitz, yes, I do know about the game. Yes, I will be doing videos on that. You guys will have to wait and see how that goes.
Ooh, interesting.
That I say, because I did enjoy Until Dawn a lot, so. And Man of Medan. Man of Medan was a lot of fun too. But that's another time and place. Right now we're in Atharia. But we're going to need to get the citizens safely to a place where we can. I'm not magically inclined, but I believe the proper term is Teleportation Circle. Correct? looking at Blue, Bimp, and Alon.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's the right term, but
Speaking
That
of,
is correct.
I'll be right back.
speaking of, before we go on this mission, we need Blue. I think we might
Hi.
I think we might need to have a small discussion. So, me and you are the ones that are capable of casting Teleportation Circle, correct?
Yes.
We should definitely make sure we know where we're sending everyone, so that way we don't accidentally go to a place that might be dangerous.
Well, I have. Hold on. I was going to open his back folding and pull up a small journal. Open it up.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have a teleportation circle for capital.
For which location?
The capital.
Yeah, for the capital.
Belwraith will look up at that.
Yes.
I'm back.
He'll take more notice.
Okay.
The capital might be the better place to take them. Unfortunately, the two teleportation circles I have, aside from the one we acquired from Stratford, is the one for here, and I do have one that I'm only supposed to be using in emergencies. That is a friend of my master's tower.
It's counted as an emergency.
Hold on a second, I got to pull the specific notes. There it is.
I think it's as much an emergency as anything.
The only problem is it would take us far away from where we need to be.
There.
Well,
You shut up, Blitz. You shut up, Blitz. I haven't even played the game yet. You don't know.
No spoilers in this chat, Blitz. If you spoil shit,
No,
I am inside your walls.
You just
I
say
am inside
Winter
your
will
walls,
die up.
Blitz.
At a specific spot. The thing is,
the heads of the thieves.
the thing is, the teleportation. You're not wrong, but the teleportation circle that I have is actually for Brightburn, and that would take us far away from where we need to be. Which, by the way, Kazir, no roll necessary. You know where that is, actually.
Really?
Brightburn is one of the large cities in Uskar.
Oh.
It's for my master's tabaxi friend. Believe her name is Starlight.
Do I need to roll to know if I know that name?
Roll a history check.
Okay.
Starlight.
You know, I'll roll it in here. Oh wait, no, that's not the That's it. Nope. What's the command again?
It would be this is a history check.
Semicolon R.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Semicolon.
My bad.
That's a 9, and my history, I believe, is 0. Let me double check to make sure. History +1.
So 10.
So that's a 10.
You have heard of Starlight, but it's very vague. You know that there's actually a handful of wizards in Usgard that actually form a group that works underneath the main. It is actually known as Magical Court. It is an organization of wizards that work together, specifically in Uskar. It's very much like, essentially, if I had to put a reference to it, picture if the main was in trouble with a magical crisis. These are the people they turn to.
Basically, they're the people who you'd go to if there was some kind of magical plague or magical storm or whatever.
Exactly, and stuff like that does happen. Especially because Usgar's right next to the Exeter Desert. Magical phenomenon does happen. So the fact that Bim's master actually knows someone from the Magical Court is a big deal.
Cool.
Just a little bit.
Interesting.
Just a little bit of a lore drop there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, the leaders of the Thieves Guild said that there was a refugee camp in Westray, and going there would be getting us closer north and get us in connection and closer.
What was the name
to
of the town? I'm sorry, kind of.
Oh, Brightburn was the name of the
Oh.
town.
Oh, I combined the names. What was the Tabaxi's name?
The Tabaxi's name is
Starlight.
Starlight.
Okay, Brightburn and Starlight. Okay, I combined the two and got Bright Star as the name of the wizard.
Which, by the way, very creatively, her tower is known as Starlight Tower.
Good job.
Very creative. But there is actually a reason for it, considering the fact that it actually does collect energy from starlight.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Nah, cringe.
Westray has the refugee camp and gets us closer to two people we can go to that can help, as well as closer to Mary.
That actually is very true. In that case, Blue, would you mind if I copy down your sigil so that way I can add it just in case, and especially if we need to open more than one circle.
I'm gonna give her my journal.
Be right back.
No problem.
all right.
Speaking of Tiny, if I remember correctly when we discussed this is the magical circle to the College of Lore, correct?
Yes.
Better say, just making sure my notes were correct on this one. Bimp in exchange does offer you to copy her magical circle back to this location.
Yes.
She
I accept.
Bimp does trust you a lot, so she is willing to give you the teleportation circle back to her master's tower.
Kill.
Helpful.
The thing is, Blue, of all the people that are magically inclined in our party, you're the only other one who knows how to use this spell. And being able to come back here, especially in case something goes wrong, would not be a bad thing. Just promise me, though, that if you do, you be incredibly cautious.
I would not touch anything. I would more rather sleep inside the teleportation room rather than wander around this tower.
She looks at you kind of with a smile. In exchange, I promise I won't go breaking into the library of lore.
That I don't mind as much.
Also, Blitz, if they did make a game that was set in the Aliens universe, that'd be fucking terrifying.
Interesting but boring stuff in there.
Well, I imagine that because of your arcane prowess, there must be some at least half-decent books.
I mean, if you want to study liches, they have some of that. For some reason.
She gives a sidewind look at that, and you do see her kind of nod her head like, oh, that is actually interesting. But basically, she copies your teleportation circle because you obviously can only hold it for so long. This is a just in case because obviously when you open a teleportation circle, correct me if I'm wrong, it only lasts for like 2 rounds.
It doesn't last long, I know that.
It's like 12. It's like 10 seconds, 12
Cool.
seconds.
6 seconds.
6 seconds. So
It lasts 1 round.
it lasts 1 round. So it probably
Ooh.
would be best for you and Bim to know the teleportation circles to get everyone through. Just in case.
Yes.
The problem is you also don't know how many people are like currently in the cells. And it's also been some time.
It's been a bit of time. We heard that the Thieves Guild got a few people out. But there's still probably a lot of people.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cocked my head to the side and said I'm angry.
Yeah, bam.
One week since you looked at me. Gotta say, and I get to bust out my old information. Oh,
Old
I'm
stuff.
I'm all the way back to the very beginning of the binder.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta say, yeah. Gotta
Pardon
say.
me.
Yep, Captain Dalmar Neris.
Just in case you're curious, the two powerful people that could help are Roland and my mom. They could be a lot of help.
Like,
I thought you hated your mom.
I hate my dad.
fuck Salvador.
My mom's fine. I gave my dad a call recently. Just to tell him how much I hated him. I also called my mom. She's chill.
And doing Salvador's voice while I was sick, I was really sad. His voice is fun.
I gotta remember.
Pretty sure my teacher's dating my mom, but this is fine.
Blues mom has got it going on. But anyways. Moving on.
Oh my god.
So you see Farron.
I'm ready to...
So you see Farron look at you guys. So we have a plan set in motion.
We're...
I've been
What's-
muted.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sounds like yeah, I think so.
In that case, you watch as he uses the map and he kind of points from the dungeon. If we go up the stairs here, we should actually be able to get to the throne room in a very short period of time. That should be plenty of space in order for you to draw your teleportation circles to get everyone out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
All right, but in the meantime, that he looks to all of you. Just know, we are going into very dangerous territory. The last time I was there was a cult with a very powerful leader, and a monster that he left behind to protect it.
We've already fought demons.
I was just going by how.
What you say?
What? Nothing.
With that being said, be on your guard. It would be foolish to think we're not going to get into a fight. All right, and he will.
Okay, so what you're telling me is we will need roll 20.
Most likely.
So what you're saying is that we're going to need roll 20. God, I wish I could do the robot voice.
I don't know.
Is that some kind of thing I haven't been let in on?
So you know,
No.
there's a robot voice of like when you just input something, and it just does a mechanical voice of like.
Oh, that like kind of like Stephen Hawking robot. Voice.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Would be.
Somebody exactly. Someone I love watching, Connor McKinley. He could do that so fucking well. It's ridiculous.
I was
Roll
talking in
20.
character because was talking
Roll
in
20.
Ardan
Yeah,
was
that's
doing
done.
character voice while he was saying real funny, so it was supposed to be a ha-ha meta funny joke.
Ha ha
20.
ha ha he he.
Better.
Ha ha. E. Very funny.
The
That's-
moon-based alpha thing.
You do that pretty damn good. Oh yeah.
If anyone
Thank
knows
you.
what moon-based
Yeah,
alpha
I know
is.
what you. Yeah, you showed me a video the other day.
My sister is stupid and dumb and stupid.
You do get wrecked, L nerd.
I'm gonna pull out Melody, the Arm of Lyra, and get ready to go.
All right. Pulling out your new weapon.
Sword.
Pulling out
Yay.
your new weapon. Gonna see if you can find out what it does.
I'm curious.
All right.
You can do it. I need a drink of water. I can't do that properly.
He hasn't seen what it does when it hits something because the Uduruk never hit me.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Too quick and too fat. That's
Too
the
fat?
redundancy. I was gonna say fast, but then as soon as I said it, I realized, wait, fast and quick are the same thing.
All right.
Too wiggly.
Wiggly. Too agile.
Well,
Agile and fast aren't necessarily the same.
I have what I need. Okay, cool. Just making sure that I had my other stuff prepped for just in case things happen. Because things very well
Die.
things are very well going to get exciting. All right. So, that being said, you watch as Farron walks up to the door. All right. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Ready as I'll ever be.
That's what I was gonna say.
You watch as Farron leads you to the door and starts walking and opens it. The puzzle, the riddle had already been answered to you guys, so the door was unlocked. So he was able to walk through. Which, upon going through the door, you immediately see what appears to be a tunnel. And as you walk through the door and everything, what you notice is that it's very, seems to be a very well built cavern, essentially going straight forward.
Are we supposed to watch out for traps?
There are no traps in this area. The traps that we had set up, unfortunately, did go off. These are ones that we would have had to reset ourselves.
Alright.
You can, if you would like to, you could still check for them, but the cult would have had to use resources to retrap it.
I'm gonna check for traps.
Absolutely.
17. Escaping. Which is a +4, so 21.
21. So, Blue, you're kind of taking your time, and you are trying to be a bit meticulous when it comes to like searching for traps. But as you kind of look through here, you do notice there are spots that like have burn marks or like seem to have like cuts in the stone. You get an idea these were traps that had gone off. Whether they were successful or failures, you're not quite sure. It really depends. There's no bodies as far as you could tell.
There's no bodies, no blood.
It's
Fine.
It seems to just be like the traps went off. It has been some time, so there's a very good chance that like if there were people who died because of this or were hurt by it, it got cleaned up since. Hard to say.
Well, I overestimated them in resetting the traps, at least.
I mean, they would be where they've gotten what they wanted. It would seem unnecessary.
Yeah.
He's weird.
Indeed.
Pardon me. Gotta keep coughing.
No, it's all good. I am too. But you guys keep moving. It's pretty eerily quiet. And this walk takes a bit. It takes like 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes go by.
I'm gonna put on my mask.
All right. Very easily you put on your mask. And Blue, in the back of your head, you hear a little bit of laughter.
Oh, not good sign.
Good sign.
But it's not it's not like scary like Pennywise laughter. It's more like Someone just told a funny joke, and someone let out a chuckle.
Ah,
Good sign.
cool.
Winter,
Alright.
Yes.
while we're walking, I'd like to keep on trying to tune into my gods.
As you're walking, you kind of continue to press, like in your mind, you continue to press where your consciousness where you normally would put it. But every time you do, you feel like there's some kind of resistance, like something's keeping you out.
Is there another cleric in the party? I don't remember.
Knackle is a cleric.
That wasn't great conversation though.
They're
Fair.
Ow, fuck.
What happened?
Oh, I smashed my elbow up my counter.
Ow.
I just pulled a nail out of my foot.
Ow.
Yum. Send it to Canada. Have a taste.
Well, it's an ingrown toenail and it hurts. So
Oh fuck, I have two right now. Yeah, I know the pain.
yeah, it's one of those things that sucks, and I eventually, when I'm more financially stable, I need to go in and actually get my ingrown toenails taken care of. But it's one of those things. It's like I'd rather not have the surgery.
I get you.
But anyways, it takes a while. However, there is something weird that happens as about 20 minutes pass, and it seems like as you guys, like any of you, have casual conversation, you start to hear your voices echo more, basically symbolizing you're getting close to an end. You do notice something. There's water on the floor.
Oh, I don't trust that. I don't
Fuck.
like.
I don't think that's a good thing.
I'm gonna put on my water washing boots.
That probably is not good.
You see Farron kind of give a little bit of a look of, that's not good indeed. Moonstone Keep is starting to fill up with water.
Fun.
It's not flooded, otherwise there would be a lot of water here, but
Fair. But the fact that some means more will come.
I just love the thought of Blue putting on his boots and he just starts walking on the puddles like, yeah, it's not that bad.
He just got a bit taller.
You just grow a couple extra inches like, guys, so this is what you feel like.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
I just had a
fun of him
bad
about it.
thought. If a puddle started to really flood and someone had water walking boots on, it would be like their feet floating while they're like getting turned upside down.
Everybody's feet are getting wet, and then Blue's just like, I don't know what everyone's complaining about. This is fine.
I'm also gonna take out in my other hand my mace of water breathing.
You bastard.
You have that?
Yeah,
That's bizarre.
he never got rid of it.
What a bizarre tool.
Why would I get rid of these? They're useful.
Because Blue never uses a mace.
That is
You
true.
can't use a mace.
Alright,
Exactly.
does.
It's a simple weapon, but it's strength based. You just have to be holding on to it to get the water breathing effect.
That is a really bizarre tool.
Why
What-
do you have a mace, Blue?
It's a mace of water breathing that I stole from the.
Oh, do you want
Stole
to give
from
it to
who?
someone? Or do you need it?
Don't blame
Just
him
wants
for
to
keeping it.
hold
If
it.
it... Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
I just have it out until we actually find some place that's full of water.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Can more than one person hold on to it at once?
Yes,
Okay, that's
Yes.
broken.
we established that when we got it.
Well, that
You
was
can-
like, what? How many months ago?
A lot.
In RP months ago. Like almost a year.
It was a while. Not quite a year. Not known each other that long.
Well, I'm almost
Yeah,
a year.
you got-
8 months. Pretty close to a year.
Yeah, you guys have known each other for about 8 months at this point.
Remember that Kazir de-aged like 5 years?
It is true. Kazir is
Dude.
younger. Kazir is younger than he used to. His fur is actually a bit more refined. But you know,
I'm pretty sure it was 2 years.
It was probably 2.
I believe it was either 2 or 3 years. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'd have to look
That
at
was
my.
about it.
I'd have to look at my. I'd have to look at my Temple of Time jokes. Temple of Time notes.
There.
But as you guys get to the door, you watch as Farron walks up, and you watch as he puts his hand on it, and you watch as you just see like a piece of energy left his hand, and suddenly you see the door just very lightly and move over to the side.
Kill.
Like in Dark Souls 2.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
We must proceed with caution now. Would anyone like to go ahead and try to...
Alright, Kazir.
Yeah, I'll go first.
I'll be
We're both
behind
going
you.
first. We're the sneaky ones.
Yeah.
We'll be right behind you.
Alright, with that being the case, Blue and Kazir, if you guys are going ahead, I want you guys to both roll me stealth checks.
Alright.
I'll use Avery again, just
Which
Because-
straight, because you are wearing your boots of elven kind,
Oh, yeah.
you do have advantage.
Because you silence. 11?
11,
Oh,
22,
hold on.
29.
29, Jesus Christ.
Yay. Holy cow.
I got an 18 plus 11.
So 29 for you, Kazir.
20. Yeah. Wait, can you hear me? Just making
Yeah, I
sure.
can hear you.
12.
Yeah. Plus,
Yours a plus 3.
let me. Yeah.
A plus 11.
Sorry, my brain kind of went 5 ways at once. All at once.
What do
Uh,
you have as a plus? I think
that
it's
was,
plus 11, but I'm not sure.
Sorry, that was stealth, right?
Yes.
12. Yeah. So that's 12 plus 12, which is 24, baby.
Yeah, you guys, everyone in the party, you're just like, all right, guys, you go on ahead. Guys,
Which reminds me, I want to get smoke bombs.
you guys are basically living shit.
Would smoke bombs be a thing in this world?
Yes, they would be.
Just making sure.
But I
I'm pretty
say
sure we talked about this before, but
smoke bombs, smoke screens, basically like very basic like bomb based stuff does exist. Guns exist, but they're also
Blue has
pretty
a
primitive.
flashbang.
Like bombs are still pretty primitive here. Like cannonballs exist and all that, but like guns are still kind of like a new invention that's only been around for like probably about like 30 years.
oh wow. So they're like brand new.
Yeah, like magic guns seem to be a hell of a lot more
So
popular.
you know what? If you really think about it, does that really make sense that guns took so long to be invented? I mean, even in real life, you know.
Well, you got to look at it this way. Just speaking out of game for a moment, the inventions of guns is very complicated. There's actually a lot of things that go into like how bullets and everything work, and also.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the very basic musket is just a scaled-down cannon.
Pretty much, but there's a lot of nuances and intricacies of using various gunpowders and also melding the barrel to its proper size.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Because you
Making
got
sure
was-
the barrel is straight.
yeah, because you got to remember like gunpowder has like been a thing since like 900
Ancient China.
ancient China like 900 AD. Like it's been around for well over 1,000 years. The issue is if you look at the oldest forms of how gunpowder is used, it like, and this is still a thing in China, by the way. You could have these they put these massive cannons between their legs to shoot fireworks into the sky. It's kind of they used to do that in like olden times as well, but in a different context.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it was incredibly dangerous. Even now, it's still incredibly dangerous. If that thing blows up, that guy is gonna lose his manhood.
Oh,
Bye
yeah.
bye manhood and leggies.
Pretty much.
Another part of why guns took so long to invent is because if you went back and said you can just make a cannon but smaller, everyone would say, why the fuck would I do that?
It's true. But as a good sword, plus
More
also
portable.
there was a lot more there was a lot more respect in gunplay, and like swordplay and all that.
Yeah, that's. It was
And-
seen a bit cheap, probably.
Exactly.
Part of
Like
it.
the big thing was the invention of making sure of a proper barrel for a gun. It probably, I would assume, the first gun ever created was probably like a pistol.
Yeah.
But it's one of
Something along
Which
the
could-
lines of a musket or something, probably.
A
Basically-
pistol that weighed 30 pounds and could misfire.
Oh yeah, good point. Anyways, sorry, didn't mean to go on that.
no. It is an interesting concept that it gets talked about a lot, and I actually did a paper on like the history of weapons.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for college it was fun.
Sounds like it.
But anyways,
All right.
basically you guys are very quiet, and as you guys kind of move ahead, I will say for you, Kazir, it is there is one issue that you're kind of running into. There is a decent amount of water on this floor. It is kind of a bit tricky to stay quiet, but with your boots and how skilled you are in your ways of being stealthy, you do handle it pretty decently, to the point.
His kitty claws.
You basically find ways to kind of walk along the walls to keep yourself silent. Blue, because of the fact of your boots of water walking, it does aid you. But similar to Kazir, there is an issue of like making sure the water doesn't ripple as you're walking through it. So similar to Kazir, you're kind of walking along the walls to making sure, just to make sure that you're not making too much noise. However, very shortly into walking through, with your guys' passive perceptions, because you're both very perceptive, it does not take you long to immediately see there is blood in this water.
Because your whispers shit under his breath.
Blue just kind of nods. Isn't thieves can't thieves can't be shown as
A written
the
code?
hands,
It's a written.
both written and hand.
It can be written, spoken, and hand signs.
Oh, because you would hand sign it then rather than whisper it. Got the. Yeah, hand sign language exists. Or could
That's how-
exist.
Sign language
how
does
we-
exist in this world.
Makes
That's how
sense.
Blue's gonna be showing it. Right?
Because you're
Ugh.
carefully and quietly pushes on.
I'm going. Yeah. Just gonna keep walking, preparing my blade.
All right.
Well, yeah, Kazir brings out his dagger. The regular antimatter one, not the magical thing.
Sounds like a plan.
Don't want to use
Like
electricity
me.
on water.
As you guys continue walking, it doesn't take you long to find out the source. You see a very dead person on the ground, but it takes you 2 seconds to realize this is a cult. This is a cultist.
How far?
Go ahead.
How far away are we from the party right now?
Not too far. Basically, as you walked in and you went through the portcullis, everyone else is kind of back where the portcullis is. You went through, probably walked about like 20, 30 feet to get to where the first bend is. And as you get to that first bend is where you saw the blood. And as you looked at the bend, like where the bend turns, you saw the body.
I'm going to pull out my copper wire and cast message.
All right. And who are you casting
I'll
message
be
to?
right back.
I'm gonna cast message back to the Lord, and pretty much just say, body found. It's a cultist. He's very dead.
Farron kind of responds fairly quickly. Is it safe for us to continue up forward?
Casting it again? I believe so. But keep back a bit. This, I want to make a medicine check. That.
Alright, roll me a medicine check.
Well, that's a base. Plus a 3, so 22.
22. It takes you a moment to kind of look at some of these wounds. It's a bit weirder than what you're used to, but it doesn't take you too long to figure out what happened. You see a lot of blood coming out of his mouth and his ears, and even some coming out of his eyes. But you look at you see some of the wounds that are on his body. It takes you a little bit, but as you kind of look at it, you notice that there's like certain marks, and as you open up the wound, it smells like burnt ozone.
Oh boy.
This person was electrocuted to death.
How long ago?
Based on what you could tell, with a 22, this guy's probably been dead for a couple days, maybe 2.
I'm gonna cast message. He's been dead for two days. It was from electricity.
He is a lot more. He is a lot more bloated, by the way, just so you know.
Okay. Keep out of the puddles as much as you can.
If and when this is relayed to me, I'd like to prepare stone shape.
Which Farron will basically Farron will mention this to you guys. The rest of the party that's not with the rest of the party that isn't Kazir and Blue. Basically, Farron is going to be very open with you guys about what Blue is saying.
I figured that's why I kind of metagamed a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
That's fair.
But I would like to prepare a stone shape.
All right, just in case.
Yeah.
Okay, noted.
Sounds good.
All right, so Farron is going to start leading the way. Do you guys, Garnan, Belwraith, everyone, do you guys going to follow?
Mm-hmm.
Blue told them to stick back, so I want to keep going forward.
Basically,
Is Ralph still gone, or is he just forgot to mute?
not sure.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Oof.
All right, so you guys continue. You about to say while Blue and Stray are leading the way, you guys are following behind. About to say.
I'm taking dodge action.
Okay. So Blue, I assume Blue and Stray, you're gonna just be walk with caution.
Yeah, sorry, I muted because I was coughing.
No problem. I'm gonna need you two to roll me another stealth check.
With advantage again?
Yes, because of your boots and kind.
Just making sure.
30.
30, nice.
25.
25. Again, you guys are like shadows. Like no one can hear you. Basically, if your party didn't know you were moving ahead, they would have no idea. You guys, as you guys continue forward, it's still very silent. You still see a decent amount of blood in the water. It's a little unsettling. As you continue forward, you do find 2 more dead bodies that are also cultists. Which, at this point, you're starting to see something different from the cultists that you've never seen before. As you kind of get to their bodies, you're noticing a pattern in their uniform. You're noticing that they're all kind of wearing this this darker leather armor. But you'll notice that they're all kind of wearing these weird they all wear these weird markings on their bodies. Like if you kind of pull it aside, you see kind of like on the chest, you see what appears to be a serpent eating its own tail. and you notice that there are splotches of color in the tattoo. But it's very strange.
Interesting. Alright.
But as you continue moving forward, it doesn't take you long to get to what appears to be another door. This door appears to be like pretty decent, like a pretty decent steel door, but it does have like a grate kind of window, like on the upper part of the door.
I'm gonna peek through it.
As you peek through it, roll me a perception check.
Okay. 16 plus so 25.
25?
Whoa.
Excuse me. With a 25, you see what appears to be cells. You could tell that you're at the section of this place that would be a dungeon. But you do notice something else. It's a smell. This smell is unmistakable. You do smell decay. So at least one person has died.
And been dead for a while.
You're not sure. You're not sure. Like, it doesn't smell like mass death. It doesn't smell like some of the towns you guys have been to where like everyone was slaughtered. Like you do recognize the smell of decay. Like someone has died.
At least one person has been dead for a few days.
Kazir, get this door open. I'll help you. Don't smell the air.
Kazir nods as he puts on his not the Thieves Guild mask, but his true sight mask of true sight to cover up the smell.
Sounds like a plan.
He carefully goes to unpick the lock.
All right.
To pick the lock.
In that case, roll me a dexterity check and add your proficiency modifier.
Oh yeah.
I'm assisting.
Which you are double proficient in lockpicking.
I'll use my real dice just because I feel like Avery's gonna fuck with me this next time.
Advantage due to me assisting.
Good thing I have advantage. That was a nat 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm helpful.
I'd rather you not break your lockpicks.
14 plus my dexterity modifier.
Your
said?
dexterity modifier, and you are double proficient with lockpicking. So
It's a plus 11.
So plus 11, so 25.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Because this is actually a pretty decent lock. This does actually take you a bit. You do get it open, but even you have to admit, like, there we go. This place, yeah. They actually invested money in their locks.
I was helpful.
Indeed. But Blue, you send a message.
I'm gonna cast message back. There's rot. Someone has died. Keep quiet. Keep moving.
Kazir, about to say, as Kazir, while you're picking that lock, you do hear the satisfying clunk sound as you do hear the lock come undone.
They're good, but I'm better.
Farron does turn to the rest of you guys and goes, "That's so Blue, you can also hear this message. I'm very saddened to hear that." And Farron will relay to you guys, Garnan and Belwraith, about the smell of decay and that there must be some people who passed. Kazir, as the door unlocks, do you pull it open?
He carefully pulls. Tongue tied.
No
I
problem.
carefully pull it open.
Okay. You slowly pull it open. Nothing seems to happen. You just pull it open.
Kazir sighs a little bit with relief as he carefully goes inside and looks around.
All right. Blue, are you with him?
I'm going to check the grounds around to see if there are any tripwires or anything.
All right. In that
Oh
case,
yeah, sure.
do you guys both
Sorry.
do you guys both want to roll investigation checks? Would you guys like to give one person advantage?
I'll let
I
I'll help
a +4.
Blue.
What do you have?
To investigation.
Yes.
Let me double check my investigation
I have a
because
+4. You have a what?
in +5.
Okay. You get assistance then.
All right.
All right. So Kazir, roll with advantage.
I'll use Avery this time
Okay.
because 12 plus 5, that's 17.
17.
Okay. You guys kind of take your time. You notice something First things first. The water's about ankle level here, so the water is starting to come in.
I'm tall.
Yeah, you're but I say because it takes you no time at all. Blue is surprisingly taller than you remember him being. But it doesn't take you guys very long to realize this would be a terrible place to set a trap. Like, just unless it's like a water specific trap, this would be a terrible place to set like tripwires or set anything like that because it would get waterlogged and it would get damaged.
Oh yeah, Kazir definitely would know that kind of stuff about traps.
Yeah, because you're specifically with 8 levels in Rogue, you would know that, like from your experience, traps are something like if you're gonna set like water-based traps, there are very specific materials you need. They would have to be very highly refined if you were gonna use like your classic like run-of-the-mill like strings and everything for those when it comes to traps with water. Otherwise, you'd actually want to go for like ropes or like things that can handle water better. So they would be.
That makes sense.
So unless these guys are the greatest thieves and the greatest tricksters to ever live, setting up traps in this kind of condition would be awful. It would be very easy to spot.
This is the greatest plan.
This is the greatest plan.
Though I guess Kazir would be thinking maybe that the traps would be set before the water was there. So.
Yeah. Basically, you would think that if they were going to set a trap in this dungeon, they would have set it before and after all this water damage. You think that if there was a trap, it'd be ruined.
Yeah, that's fair.
But as you guys start walking through, you do find cells and you do find people in them. And you guys unfortunately do see some horror. Some of these cells have a decent amount of people that have passed away. They've been dead for some time now. Whereas some of those bodies in the previous rooms were dead for maybe a couple of days, some of these bodies are rotten. Like left to die.
Like weeks old.
Yeah, basically, if I had to give an example of how bad some of these
Welcome
bodies...
back, Bellry.
Yeah, I just got.
God. It's like a raccoon that's not a raccoon, a possum after a rainstorm.
Pretty much. You guys basically, for some of these people, the best example I could give is probably like have you ever seen like skeletal remains of people who've like starved to death or like died of dehydration?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
But yeah,
I haven't seen them for real, thank God, but I've seen some.
but like images from like
it's
your
disturbing.
old history books and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of
one news report, but it's horrible.
a decent amount of people, but the more you look at some of these bodies, and some of them are bloated, but the thing is, it's like obviously they haven't eaten or anything like that, so their bodies, you can tell these guys died probably pretty harsh deaths. But you do notice something. There are no children amongst them. So it looks like whoever like helped the town got the young people out.
Good.
Some of these people that seem to be most of these people who seem to be dead, unfortunately or fortunately, depending the way you look at it, seem to be older folk. Like these are probably people in their, like probably later in their lives, like 50s, 60s.
Yeah. Because you're kind of just grunt and says he sees it.
It's kind of funny. At the start of this adventure, I'd be throwing my guts out, but this doesn't really bother me. This
Understandable. Kazir says, as he
Depressing.
checks to make sure. Most likely there isn't, but unlikely as there are. Looks to see if there's any survivors at all in any of the cages.
As you kind of continue looking down, you actually do hear.
Not sure if that's actually in character.
Oh,
or...
that's in character.
Okay.
And out of character too.
Yeah, it worked. It like that. I actually timed that really well.
I'm
Fair.
gonna rush over.
You guys,
Go faster. You move at half speed through water.
you guys rush forward, and as you rush forward, you see about 6 cells that still have people in them. They look okay, but you can tell they're starting to see some side effects.
Yeah, they're
They
getting
look
close.
alive.
Yes.
They're alive, but not healthy.
And
Healthy.
as you look at them, immediately one of them looks at you. Are Solaris? It has been some time. As you see a person very groggily walk up, kind of out of the shadows of the dungeon towards the bars, and you see a tabaxi
Oh.
in whitish grayish fur, and very quickly you recognize this as you guys very quickly recognize this as. Hold on one second.
Jerry, I want to say.
Nope, not Jerry. About to say Jerry. Jerry actually got out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Tom and Jerry, they're gone.
Yeah,
I don't think. Oh, never mind.
You're the one who nearly killed him.
Time.
Shut up! Because you still feels bad about that.
About to say you guys recognize him as. Here it is. You recognize him as Thor, the owner of
Thor.
the.
I was close.
The owner of the Thunder Inn.
I remember him.
There was ever at to Thunder.
You guys stayed there. And that was where you guys got attacked.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where you guys got first got attacked by Garland.
Oh yeah, I thought it was
That
the
was
other
our
end.
first
Yeah,
tavern.
no, you're right.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. Because you're no questions, just goes undo the locks.
Roll a dexterity check.
I'm gonna take out rations and slip it through the bars.
You watch as he takes it, but before he eats it, you watch him go back into the bars. Here, you need to eat something. And you watch as he's feeding it to a human woman, which Blue immediately you recognize. That about to say that is.
Isn't it
Bim's friend, Vivian, the owner of Rites and Rituals.
I remember her.
Yeah.
You see, she is looking terrible. Like even through her clothes, which by the way, she's wearing pretty torn, destroyed clothes. She is skinny as hell. She probably hasn't eaten in days.
Well,
I rolled 15 on the dice plus 3 for my dex.
Is that the one that enchanted the Kubikiri?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta say,
Cool.
15 plus 3 plus 8 because of your double proficiency.
Oh yeah.
So that is 26. Yeah, it takes you no time at all. Literally, you're just like, God, you put so much effort in the locks to the dungeon, but the cells themselves. And as you open, there are 3 people in this. There seems to be 3 people in this cell. Immediately, you notice there's Thor, Vivian, and you do see another person who appears to be a halfling. But it's one of the people you do recognize from the Clockwork Inn. It's not Bim's.
buddy!
It's not Bim's mom, but it is one of the halflings that work there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Almost got it going
I was
on.
about to say Bim, because Bim's mom, is a gnome.
Yeah.
I have more rations. I'm so glad to see that you guys are still alive.
Well, You could say this isn't my first rodeo when it comes to this. Looks over at you because you're when
Yeah, just darn in.
you shut up. When food rations got low in Uskar, you do what you have to.
Yeah, that's understandable. He says kind of solemnly as he nods and goes to unpick the next locks.
All right.
Your wife will feel weird that you've lost a good chunk of weight.
I'm happy to hear that she's okay.
We got her out as soon as we've... The Thieves Guild. They're the ones that think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take those costs as in character.
Yeah, they are in character. They are in character as well as out of character.
Fair. Fair.
I'm gonna give more rations.
You just kind of pass out some rations to help people out. The halfling, basically, because you're kind of going around, as the rest of the party starts kind of getting up to the door, and which immediately, by the way, Belwraith and Garnan, the moment you get to the door, you can smell it too. It's decay and rot. People have died. And as you look at some of the bodies on the ground, similar to Blue, you can see that, like, you can smell the burnt ozone. Which, by the way, Blue, you do smell that burnt ozone on the two bodies outside of the dungeon as well.
That's fun.
Oh.
Are there any cages with more people?
Yes, there are actually a decent amount of cages around. You kind of go through more and, again, noticing very similar stories. You do see a couple of younger people that also seem to have passed away. Probably, Thor's kind of walking out with, holding Vivian, by the way, because Vivian is unconscious. Like, Vivian is, like, she's eating, but, like, you can tell that she's weak. She is so weak.
She is, like, barely awake.
Yeah, she's basically like...
She's like eating in her sleep.
Pretty much. She's eating because that's what her body is making her do.
Yeah.
The halfling seems okay. Probably just due to the fact that, because of his body, he can eat less and it lasts a bit longer.
I'm gonna go to a cell that still has the living people and start lockpicking.
Thor does, as you guys are walking, Thor does kind of explain. They would feed us once a week, and we'd get water every 2 days.
Hunters.
But all of a sudden,
you don't have to worry about water.
All of a sudden, about 2 weeks ago, 3 hours at 3, I can't tell anymore. They stopped showing up. The doors have been locked. Our food supply was getting very low. He looks over at the bodies. They started just giving their food rations to us. You can see, like, tears coming down through his eyes.
How many lockpick rolls should I make?
Blue, it takes you no time at all. There's about 25 dead people here.
Oh, sorry to interrupt there. Did you want me to roll a few more for the doors?
I will say roll me one more dexterity check, and basically this is going to affect how long it takes for you to pick these locks.
Okay, that's fair.
You do better say, and it's your dexterity plus your double proficiency.
That's 10 plus 6. Oh, no, wait, not 6.
10
yeah,
plus
6.
10 plus 11.
Oh, 11?
Yeah, because it's double proficiency. So
oh, yeah.
8 plus 3, so...
Yeah, okay, I get you.
This
What
one
the fuck is wrong with you?
What?
What are you talking about?
I hate you.
What?
Me?
I don't know what I'm doing.
18
Wonder
plus 7.
Wonder DM'd me something.
Oh.
I got a 25.
25?
25.
For just
Lockpicking.
for helping out. It doesn't take you guys that long to get through, and you start rescuing some people. There are some people a bit healthier than others. You do see some of them are actually like trying to take care of the others. Thor's kind of.
Kazir gives his rations to the weaker ones.
Okay, you guys just kind of spill out some of your rations to everyone. You do notice that there are a couple people you recognize and a couple people you don't. A lot of these people are kind of some just random citizens. You'd assume people that you've met over time.
I'd like to check for illness apart, like gangrene or general illness.
What's up?
Just checking for illness, like gangrene.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Hold on one second.
The oldie trench foot.
Abby just gave me a food delivery.
Hello, Abby.
Hello.
Thanks, babe. Also, everyone says hi.
Hi.
Nuh-uh, I didn't.
I didn't really.
Oh, apparently Wilf is not saying hi because he wants to be different.
Okay.
Love you,
Hi,
babe.
Abby.
Thank you.
Oh, I say hi now, and okay,
Yeah,
I see
no,
how it is.
She heard you.
Um,
Ooh. Did you swipe it for me?
Oh, bing bang.
Better say I do have a power cord in here if you want to swipe it. Because I'm.
Oh, great!
I
Now
can't
that
use
song's gonna be stuck in my head the rest of the night.
it. Sorry, sorry about that, guys. So just handing Abby a power strip that I keep in here.
I was busy making sure that Sherry knows what you said to the witch doctor.
Did he say ooh? Did he eat ooh?
Maybe ting tang, walla
Walla
walla,
bing bing.
Ooh ee ooh
That's good. Stop it! That's gonna be stuck in my head forever.
Perfect.
Okay. Sorry, but I would say this food's gonna have to cool off a bit because it's hot. She brought me up some. We bought a few of the ramen mixed with veggies.
Ooh, nice.
So I got a hot and spicy chicken ramen right up here with me.
Ooh, that's so good.
Yeah, I know, but it's got to cool off a bit. It freaking burns my tongue. But anyways, not the heat, but just how hot like the noodles are and everything. All right, but anyways, a few people you recognize and a few people you don't. There seems to be a decent amount of citizens, but amongst the survivors, the ones you do recognize, one of them is actually one of the magic users you guys met at the games, who was casting Blade Ward on the weapons.
Yeah.
She's good. They're good. Yeah, it was a she.
Yeah, it was
How
a
am
she.
I remembering that?
But I say you recognize.
It's one of them.
Among the dead, however, just very sadly, you do recognize a female. You do recognize Danielle. Danielle, who was the blacksmith.
No.
Unfortunately, it seems that it's according to some of the survivors, she was actually pushing her food onto other people. She actually wanted to make sure that a specific person survived. And you notice that there was a younger woman, probably in her early 20s. She wanted to make sure that she was going to survive this.
Isn't that the one that made the kubikiri for me?
She is the one who did. She
Motherfucker.
She was also the one who worked with Vivian to make the dragon scale shield.
And the one who worked on Knackle a bunch.
That is correct. She was one of the few people who knew. But amongst all
seeing that the party is a little bit beat up about Danielle in particular, Valraith would say a short prayer for her as well as the rest of the dead.
Darnan's going to kneel beside.
Beside Danielle.
Yeah. Hey, Philman.
Yes.
The kubikiri, can I see it real quick?
Absolutely, son. You watch as he pulls the Kubakiri off his back and he hands it to you.
He kind of just lays it beside her. Just as a bit of a respect, a nod to one of her creations.
Which, you look at the Kubakiri and you do see that very familiar little small mark towards the base of the handle with the little mark of a D.
This,
How
for anyone that doesn't know, the new people, this is the one that forged the Kubakiri for me.
That's some damn fine work.
Yes, it is. He hands it back to Philman.
She was a good blacksmith.
Wielded in her
She was a
name.
good person.
Indeed.
how
You-
long ago? How old is the body?
For her, it seems like her body is about. You would probably get with. I'm not gonna make you roll for this. I'm essentially say because obviously Belwraith is a cleric who has dealt with dead bodies. You could probably tell she's been dead for probably about 4 days, 5 days.
Yeah, if you said hours, I would have carried her because maybe she's just unconscious.
You actually notice a gentleman is picking up her body.
Oh, Garnan would have.
About to say if
Like
Gar-
after
if
it,
Garnan
would've.
if Garnan wouldn't have, you would notice a gentleman does it, and it doesn't take you guys very long to realize this was her. That the guy would explain that he's actually was Danielle's apprentice, which you guys remember. Danielle did have an apprentice that did help her with her metal work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Garnan absolutely would have picked up her body after giving Philman back the Kubakiri.
Which Blue, after opening up one of the last cells, immediately you just feel a tackle on like a small tackle on your body. You're Blue, right? Blue.
Yes.
Which immediately, Blue, it takes you no time at all. You do recognize her. This is the owner of the Clockwork Inn.
Bimp, get over here.
You watch as she immediately
Cool.
turns and her and Bimp lock eyes.
I would assume that it's a medical thing, and I'd also turn to look.
Which all you guys see is basically you watch as Bimp just looks at her. Blue's about to say, Blue, you see Bimp's mom just like immediately just bursting into tears. You just see like her crying heavily. Like it basically you watch as they just run into each other's arms, and you can hear like strong sobbing from both of them. Just I thought you were dead. No, Mom, I would never leave you here. And yeah, basically a lot of people are just kind of like, you notice some of the like survivors, like you see like Thunder basically kind of nodding his head approvingly. And you watch as like basically a lot more people, some of the people you don't recognize, which after just having small conversations, which by the way, you guys, like between small conversations, you can tell like some of these guys were like some of these people were farmers that were just outside of the city. And you notice that some of these people were like a few officials. But as everyone else is moving forward, you do see Farron standing behind with you, Belwraith, and you notice him just looking amongst the dead.
The steward isn't there.
The steward isn't there, actually, surprisingly.
Are you looking for someone?
No. I'm looking amongst my subjects. Ones that I once called friends. People that I used to see every single day. How painful all of this is. I wish that we could carry all of their bodies out, give them all proper burials. I would like nothing more.
Sorry to interrupt, but I do have a pretty empty bag of holding if you really want me to.
Farron just looks at you.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's an
Well, I
offer.
mean, it is a way to get a lot of them out.
He just gives you a look, and he just kind of you watch at first. He just kind of gives you a look of like what, and then kind of a look of like, nah. Tempting, but no. I'd rather them.
Nah, it's not exactly honorable.
It would only be temporary, but it is your decision.
A lot of these people were born in Pegland, and I'd rather see them buried in Pegland Cemetery.
Again, I could.
You watch
Never
it.
mind.
You watch as he kind of grips like a section of his armor, and you watch as he actually lets out a small prayer. If anybody wants to roll a perception check over here.
Oh, of course I do. I want to know if this guy
Nah.
worked
28.
it. 9.
9. Okay. Yeah, Belwraith, you just
I am standing right beside him, though.
that is true. You know what, Belwraith? I will give you advantage because you are standing right next to him, and Garnan, you as well.
Whoops, that's
Guardian's not
right.
tracker.
Oh no, that's a natural 19.
It is perception.
Perception.
Really?
That is a
Okay.
21.
Round 13.
13. About to say for anybody who is listening, which if you rolled above a 10, you guys would hear him, and you hear him muttering a prayer to the Raven Queen.
Okay.
Which to
That's about right.
which to anybody which you guys have heard of the Raven Queen along your travels, as she is the Spiritfarer, the person who guides souls to the other side.
Pardon me.
What the fuck was that?
That was a hiccup
Hiccup.
and burp.
Sounded like you just fucking died.
Oh,
And you basically watch as he picks up his sword and kind of places it down and mutters a few more words. And you watch as the ground around him starts to kind of give a bit of light as he casts ceremony.
Oh,
ooh.
it can't become undead.
Basically for anyone who doesn't know, when you cast ceremony, no, it's okay. Basically, it's like a funeral rite. It's a way of keeping people from becoming undead. It's basically a way to help spirits move on rather than their like troubled souls returning back to their bodies.
Becoming angry. Ooh.
I'm curious. What? So,
It's
here, it's just an out-character question.
Yes.
I don't think Belwraith is, upon entering the campaign, was of level to cast ceremony. However,
He was. It's a first level spell.
is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like third.
Hold on.
Nope.
I'll tell you in a sec.
It's first level. I like it.
It's a good spell.
Because it does more than just protect from undead.
It
It's
does.
also like,
You can
also
make
like marriage and shit like that.
It is a first level spell.
marriage, coming of age. You can make holy. Do others.
Well, in that case,
Oh,
Belwraith
wait, what?
probably would have casted this himself more than a few times.
Yeah, basically, immediately you would recognize what he's doing, and basically he's casting it at like certain levels to try to get as many people as he can. It doesn't take you guys very long to realize, oh, he's a paladin, but he's an old paladin.
Oh, paladin.
Paladin of the Raven Queen?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, when I got my hands on the character, I'm like, what would be fitting for a king, and like, what would he do with it? It's like, well, he tries to, because of his wife, his kids dip more into magic, but he wouldn't know that much about magic except for like clerical magic because of
That's fair.
because of how he grew up. And it's like I could make him just a fighter, but I'm like, no, this would be more fitting of why he would encourage his children to pursue magic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Could have made him a paladin of IU, and that would be pretty cool.
That would be cool, but I aim more for the Raven Queen, specifically for him because he grew up. Varen's past had a lot to do with just the natural occurrences of death, and just a respect there, essentially. But you don't know his history. You don't know the full story of like why he became.
You don't know his life.
But anyways, Belwraith would notice the spell, and you're a holy man.
Indeed.
Man of holes.
Holy man. Back in the day, before I took up
Back in my day.
before I took up the position of Lord, I was a paladin amongst the Raven Queen.
I may have some questions for you later, if that's alright.
That should be fine. Even though it's been many years since I've regularly practiced my oath, I would still attend most funerals. It's only proper that my citizens get the proper ending to their lives. It's very saddening to see them in this state.
I understand. A lifetime ago, I was cleric in the Church of Tyr, Fargo West.
Ah, yes, the temple for protection, or at least that's what it's supposed to represent.
It's fallen away from that.
So I've heard.
I'm not the man in charge.
Yes, I'm aware of the Grand Archbishop. Him and his views differ from mine. Found it quite insulting when he was trying to push Tyr more into Pegland.
I
can understand.
plan to talk to him again soon.
Yeah, well, if you do, give him a nice punch from old Farron, who remembers when he was just a lowly candle boy. You get a sense Farron is a decent age.
Would we have met in the past? Would we in character? Would we have met in the past?
No. Farron has been like in Pegland for the last probably 30 years. But you get a sense that Farron probably went a-traveling a long time ago, and that's probably why he knows like the Temple of Tyr as he does.
He's an old adventurer.
He's an old man.
Hey man, any person who's a retired adventurer, you know that they're quite powerful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Me and the current Archbishop grew up together. We were friends once.
What?
It has been some time since I've been amongst the Church of Tyr, but I would make trips from time to time. It's probably been a decade since I've been to the Church of Tyr, but as far as seeing most members, I was let's say the church was a bit more protective of seeing everyone. You get a sense he. You roll an insight check, actually.
Okay. Oh my goodness, what is my last 13?
It's not. It wasn't a high DC. You get a sense as he kind of points to some of your features. It seems like they were trying to prevent him from seeing other races amongst the church.
Why would they do that? I'm not. This is like in character.
Just, I didn't hear you. I apologize.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because the only people that I saw that I was allowed to meet in the church were all human, and no one else.
Interesting.
And I found that quite peculiar, since Tyr has never been selective about the races who follow him. It seemed very odd that I hadn't even seen a single elf there. At the very least. Or dwarves, because I know dwarves worship Tyr as well.
Would we be able to speak in private shortly?
Well, everyone's a bit like preoccupied trying to help the citizens and get out and everything. If you wanted to like just take a step back away from the door, like through the doors again, like towards where the two dead cultists are, like you can have a moment of privacy. I assume the rest of the party is kind of helping everyone else out.
Yep.
Is helping everyone else out, but you notice he is like kind of zoned out a little bit.
Very
I would
protective.
like to take him into a little bit of a more private area.
All right.
And I'd like to take out my amulet and show it to him. Do you know what this is by chance?
All right. Remind me again of your amulet.
I will link it to you. Or not link it, but
DM it to me.
tell you about it in DMs.
Yep, absolutely. I'm pretty confident I remember. I just want to make sure. I'll have to see what Gonk Droid has to say. He offers out his hand. May I?
Good luck with that, and he'll show his neck where the chain of the amulet goes in and under the skin of his neck.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness! Hold on. Get out of here! Get out of here, Ed.
No.
Get out of here! Goodness.
No.
He is going to. You watch as he casts the spell, and he looks at it. Where did you get this?
It was gifted to me by the current Archduke. Archbishop.
Well, first things first, this is a cursed artifact.
Hey.
Who would have guessed? Sarcasm.
/S.
I'm actually going to roll something for him. Because he basically, in case anyone's curious, he basically initially, the spell he cast was detect. As a paladin, he can cast basically divine sense. He can tell if something is good or evil. And yeah, casting that on your medallion necklace, yeah, it very quickly was able to realize this is an evil artifact.
This has been a source of many of my issues.
I gotta pull up his stats specifically because I have them saved on my phone here.
Move curse.
Because I have to look at his specific details. 1 second. He is... Let's have his current level.
What level is he?
He's high level, like very high level. He's an adventurer who survived.
It is very warm in my room, so I got
So level 15.
Sure.
I gotta turn on a fan, so I'm gonna mute. I am listening.
Okay.
Higher than level 15.
Mm-hmm.
17.
He's about as high as you can go considering his position, but he is older. So which means using his abilities, you get a sense that if he tried to go all out, it could kill him. If that makes sense.
Weak bitch.
More like 80-year-old man. Like, well, not 80, but he's like late 60s, early 70s. Like, he's getting up there. His kid.
Enemies. Enemies.
You watch his fair and just kind of looks at your medallion. So from what I can understand, this is a particularly cruel artifact. So this is... How do I explain this? It's essentially an amulet of disruption. Typically, what happens with artifacts like this is souls get trapped inside of them, ripped from the ether, or souls that they kill the target themselves and trap them into. And essentially, for clerics and paladins, this is particularly bad. They typically sever connections to divine entities. It's like if someone didn't. It's kind of like if you built a river and someone decided to drop a giant boulder in the middle of it. The water would still get through, but it would be more of a trickle than it would be an actual flow. There's something weird about it, though. The soul typically trapped inside of these things would be a soul of a person. I would have the capabilities of sensing that. This is a bit different. Whatever the soul of this is, it's not human.
It's a god.
I
know that it is.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I am telling you, it is a god. It's hard to explain, but it's true.
I need you to roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. I'm not great at it. I gotta find it. Peep. Okay. The 9. Oh my god.
9. You notice that he's basically just kind of looking you up and down to see, like, all right, boy. And, basically, like, in your mind, you hear him saying, like, all right, boy, stop messing with me. He kind of looks you up and down and goes, well, I don't know about this whole god information, but definitely something different than a human soul. But it's not demonic. But at the same time, this necklace is still weird. You might want to look into finding someone who can remove it.
Who do you recommend?
Ah! Let me check my notes. Because he does know a decent amount of people.
Oh yeah, that married person over in what was it, Makanali? She's pretty good.
No. That's a very good roll. That's a natural 20. All right. I have to go through my notes real fast. Hold on 1 second. He actually does know someone.
I'm gonna cast Remove Curse on your balls.
I'm
Oh!
gonna cast remove person, yo dick.
You're
Ooh,
just
got it.
reiterating what I just said.
No, balls and dick are different things. They're close but different.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Stupid.
If you want to remove that medallion, there is actually a place, but it is treacherous to go. If you go through the Matlock Pass to a forest far to the north, there is a place that supposedly a being resides, a elder, if you will. But the issue is I met him when I was a young lad, and I met him again 20 years ago. He hasn't aged. He looks exactly the same. But his power is far beyond anything I've ever seen. He is basically above game basically to explain. He's explaining of an older, like, sage-like person that him
What was the directions again? Sorry.
it's
Through
a
the Matlock Pass.
through the Matlock Pass going north. And basically he explains to you that it's actually not here in Atharia. It's actually up north in Tuscadal. Apparently there's an old sage that lives in a forest north of the Matlock Pass. And he says for you to search out... Sir... What's your name? It's a gentleman, I know that for a fact. Hold on, going through my notes.
Yep.
Here it is.
I'm just gonna note of this.
It is Sage Golrodman. Golrodman.
Wait, don't you know someone from Duskwall?
If only.
How do you spell that?
It's okay. I'll put it in the D&D chat.
Alright.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure you know someone from there, right? Right?
Wait.
Gol Ramal.
Garnet from Duskwall.
And he
I thought so. I was gonna say that.
and he does refer to him.
Oh.
He does refer to him as a sage. So, but if you want to roll a religion check or a nature check to understand what a sage, like a sage's standpoint would be, or religion, your choice.
I'll do roll legit. Give me a second. I'm really bad at finding things. I have a +1 to religion. It's a 7. My god.
The 7.
Yeah, I've been rolling 6 and 9, and that's it. All sessions.
I will say this. I will give you advantage on this solely because of the fact that you grew up in the Church of Tyr.
That's helpful. 14. Doubling the roll.
All right, 14. That's enough to give you kind of a baseline information. So sages are a bit weird when it comes to religion. They basically, when it comes to nature-based deities, they typically are an equivalent of a priest, like a higher-end priest. But amongst druids, you know that old ancient druids, like arc druids, basically they have more knowledge to more things that anyone else does because of how long they can live. Basically, you would know that sages are typically people who have earned those titles through various relationships they've had with culture, and are people who are more in touch with the world around them than even more than a natural druid would be. That's basically what you get for sages, but they are renowned to be incredibly powerful.
So, I have 2 questions at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know that he's talking about Tuscadal?
I would say yes. You would be well enough aware if he's referring to deep north he probably is referring to out of Atharia. Especially when it comes to forested areas. There's not a lot of forested areas in the northern part of Atharia. The forested areas are more in the middle sections of Atharia, especially around like Brackle White Lake. But no one goes near those forests.
Okay. And the other question that I have, would I know that Garnan's from Tusk at all?
Probably.
Probably because it has been brought up.
I'll roll a history to see if I remember.
All right.
I do remember that with a 24. God fucking damn it. Jesus Christ. My best roll all night and all I want.
Ooh.
Fuck's sake.
Congrats, you know something about Garnan.
The greatest information ever.
I'll be sure to talk to Garnan. If I remember correctly, he's from Tusk at all.
Well, if he is, then he would probably know more about, the sages and archdruids that live there. Tuskadal is a lot of nature. But be careful. Nature is quite treacherous. But we should rejoin the group.
You're correct.
Come along.
Thank you.
He looks at you, and he kind of gives you a smile. I'm happy to help anyone in need. And he starts walking forward. Which now the rest
To be seen again.
never to be seen again. No, but as the rest of the party, you guys are kind of helping people get along. Bimp has not left her mom's side this entire time.
Completely understandable.
Basically, you notice that Bimp is sharing, giving her some of her rations, but her mom is actually turning them down and passing them on to other people. Apparently, Bimp's mom was like one of the people that's been taking care of others inside of her cell. She, like, people started like getting like ill and not feeling well. Basically, Bimp's mom was one of the first people to. Everyone was passing food.
Start sacrificing herself.
Yeah, basically, people were passing food to her so that way she could actually be strong enough to take care of others. She was basically more in charge of, like you said, because you're one of the first people to sacrifice because of the fact that she was the one to portion out food and make sure that everyone was getting as much as they can, especially ones that are ill.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which Belwraith, between you and Knackle, yeah, you basically notice that at least 6 of these people are suffering from various illnesses that come with like spending too much time around water.
Gangrene.
Yeah.
French foot.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is a
Have
lot of
that
stagnant
skin
water.
slide syndrome.
A lot of stagnant water can lead to mosquitoes.
There's actually a surprisingly lack of insects here.
Good.
Makes sense.
Demons are gone.
But that's
For
the
food.
But that's the weird thing, Blue. You the rest of the party, none of you really have to roll for this. This is very obvious. You've been around like bodies that have been, people who have been killed, bodies that have rotted, all that.
Maggots.
Like you've noticed that you know about like insects and all that stuff, but the issue here is, and it's actually kind of ominous. There are no insects here. And even more surprising, there are no creatures near these bodies whatsoever. You would expect at least smaller fish to like be feeding on them. If water's been leaking through, it'd be perfect for like smaller fish to like get food.
That does make sense.
But nothing.
2 things. First off, Blue's fish is not here. I have not been told about it.
Yep, nope, he's not.
It was eaten.
Probably.
I would like for these
Wait.
for these 6 people who are ill.
You can't use sending on animals.
I'm not
can
gonna do it.
Ew.
No,
No.
Unless you can speak to them.
You want to
for
cast what?
these, No. For these 6 people who are ill, I would like to take like a small notebook and like rip off a page for each of them. I'm basically making a triangle card, and I'm writing like the severity of the illness,
Oh,
and then giving it to them. Hold on to this. We will be keeping track of your illness. Or
that's actually very smart of you, just to kind of keep track of like
Who has what?
who has what and how far it's gotten.
who's getting worse, who's getting better.
Yeah, I won't make you roll for this because with you being a cleric and you're actually taking time to do this rather than like, okay, looking at this, we gotta go. You're like actually taking time with each of them and kind of going like, okay, this is this. All right, cool. In that case, this is what you have. This is how far along you are. Try not to walk on this, or like trying to be cautious when walking like this. As soon as we get to someplace with medicine, we will get you. Yeah, basically, I will give you this, and because of how smart that is, well played, sir. Well played.
I have 10
Right.
sets of common clothes. Common clothes. People get common clothes if they need them. I love clothes.
People will take you up on that because some of their clothes are just like destroyed. Bimp is helping out by using prestidigitation on some of the.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I realized I could do that too.
Oh, if you want to assist her, basically she's helping some of the people by like drying
Cleaning
off
them up.
cleaning them up, drying off their clothes, so that way they're not like walking around in watered down clothes.
Makes sense.
Who looks
You can't
very much like a cultist?
Fair.
Which and there's some people, but but a lot of people like heard Solaires. They recognize Kazir and Garnan, and Bimp especially.
Why Garnan of all people?
Because you've been around. You did help fight off some of the people that some of the Broken Skull that attacked Pegland.
You're
Remember?
kind of
Garnet
hard to
is kind of one of the people that stands out. I'm the big blue giant. Not
Got a point there.
That is true. That is true.
Are you eating?
Yes, I'm hungry.
no worries. That's completely
Cookies.
fair.
I very rarely eat on stream. I literally can name on my hand how many times I've eaten on stream. Because I don't like doing it, but I also haven't eaten today.
That's completely fair.
Gotcha.
Him hungry.
Exactly. I hungry. Like I need food. I need sustenance. But anyways. But yeah. Bimp, Garnan, while you are carrying Danielle, Bimp will use prestidigitation to like just clean her up so she looks a bit better. But yeah, you know for a fact she's far gone.
I hate
Oh.
these.
I do
I'm
too.
not.
I
I'm not used to. Well, I'm used to death. I'm not used to loss. There's a big difference.
Which
True.
Garnan, upon mentioning that, you do see like blue. You do see that not blue. You see Bim. You see Bim's face, which you can tell this hurts her a lot too.
She didn't deserve it.
No,
None of them did.
no, they really didn't.
Okay.
Bimp,
Yes,
how are we gonna do the teleportation circle?
we need Lord.
I can help you.
Oh.
How large of an area do you need?
10 feet, 10 feet circles.
Hmm. Hold on.
We
let me
can-
check.
We can take them back to the cells before those were dry.
I don't think
much-
anyone wants to be in there. I can't quite.
That's best. We don't want to show them those monsters.
I know how to shape the ground, although I can't quite make an area that size.
Did you do a few times?
Not enough times.
It's okay.
I
We
apologize.
can try and find somewhere dry. We can't make the circles when the ground's wet. It requires chalk.
Where are you going to send them?
I'm going to send them to the college astray. There they can go to the place we were sending refugees.
Okay.
You watch as Lord Farron walks up and goes, If we can go up to the next bend and go up the next set of stairs, we should be able to get to the throne room."
Alright. Hopefully it's dry in there.
Hey, Blue, didn't you have a fish?
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
Garnet just looks at Lord Farron Marklehay.
Fair.
Sorry, Blue, you lost it.
I left a fish here for him to take care of, and then Theander to take care of. Thieves Guild told me there was a fish in a cup with a handcuff wrapped around it.
You're telling me you lost
I forgot
the
about
fish.
that part.
I'm confused. It's somewhere.
Hold on,
You
they
lost
put a
the fish.
handcuff on a fish?
That,
Yes.
I'm not even questioning.
Specifically on the cup.
Yeah.
On the top.
On the cup they put it in.
The monsters.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
They didn't want the fish to get away.
Obviously.
It was precious blue. It must have been powerful, right? Right?
Indeed.
It's
Okay.
not like Xanathar's fish or anything like that. It's a fish.
Don't.
It was a rainbow fish.
What is that?
I apologize for interrupting, but I
So-
had a thought. You might want to make sure to call your friend before you send these people. He says to Blue. Contact someone at the guild.
College.
That is a
college.
smart choice. Thank you, Kazari.
Actually, straight. Very well played. Good, smart. Good
Thank you.
thinking.
I
Uh,
thought you were already doing that, but okay.
Trying not to pull a gesture.
One sec.
I mean, granted, they probably wouldn't think much of. I mean, think it was tax sending a bunch of sick people in.
Yeah.
I'm going to send a message to Kevlar. 'Cause I know
Oh.
he's still in the capital.
All right.
Buddy. Mission success. Sending people to College of Lore. They're injured and sick. They need help. How many words are left?
That was 17. You still have 8 words.
Also,
Please
you're my
lead
brother.
to the camp. I'd rather tell that to him face to face.
5 more words.
5 words.
Pardon me.
Also, you're my
But
brother.
to be fair though, Tiny, that is absolutely a Blue thing to do.
And you have exactly 5 words. You are my brother.
4 words. 5 words.
5 words. But of course,
Talk about a name drop. The Bob drop.
but you have 5 words.
Also, Salvador is your dad.
Oh, way worse.
It takes
You're my brother, and Salvador is your dad are 2 very different things.
Oh, same intention, different power.
It doesn't take very long when Blue you got a response. Blue, old buddy, old pal. Long time no hear.
It's been like half the day.
Yeah, but that's forever for Kevlar, and you know that.
How could you not message him every other hour?
It's been
How dare
it's
you?
been about what? Half a bottle?
I cannot believe you're turning.
Currently at the college, we'll expect people to arrive.
He's getting it.
Haha!
Like, you're just not gonna comment on the Salvador thing?
But as a Blue, you probably get a sense that he thinks you're fucking with him.
Feels about
Considering your guys' relationship.
that feels about right.
We've talked about your relationship with Kevlar.
AO?
You know?
Whoa. Is it happening?
Kevlar X Blue?
I ship it. Not
They're
as hard
brothers.
as I ship. Not as hard as I ship. Celebrate them both.
Why are you so obsessed with Mary?
I mean, if you can't get the girl, get the girl's brother.
It's true. That's very true.
Exactly. Can't beat her. Beat her brother.
It's the ultimate form of sucking up.
Oh, I'll be sucking up alright.
Alright,
Oh
fine.
god.
Moving on.
Moving on. We're moving on.
Let's get to
So, as you guys continue forward,
Kazir and Blue gonna sneak forward.
if you guys would like to,
I would
Yep.
like to. I
right.
don't want to put the how many people are alive in danger.
Have you
Yeah,
roll stealth
they-
checks.
I'll use
I'll check.
real life.
18 plus 11, 29.
Do I still get advantage? Just making sure.
Yes, you still have
You got
advantage because of boots of elven kind.
Okay.
You got the booties.
Thank goodness, because oh sure, that did literally nothing. First roll was a 6, second roll was a 7.
Plus 12,
Yeah, plus 12, true.
19.
Yes, and it's still pretty high.
I mean, you could use Pass Without a Trace, dude. Thing.
Oh yeah. And
It's a little
Nah.
too late for that now.
I'll wait for that. Wait for an emergency.
Alright. Hold on a second. Just pulling up information. Apologies, guys. Give me one moment.
What are these?
I can't believe you.
I know.
Taking so long in your own campaign. This is bullshit.
It makes me violently angry.
Yeah, you're the worst DM ever.
Oh,
Wait,
guys.
sarcasm.
Oh, guys, why? Why
God, Kazir, you hurt his feelings.
why the drive-by? Goddamn.
Why are you laughing? You hurt his feelings.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You will not be staying for this morning. Because it is the morning. At this
The
point in
problem with
time- Okay.
it is the
So,
morning.
I know how...
technically.
Yeah.
I know how people
For
say,
all of us,
"Oh,
it's
well,
actually morning.
at midnight it's the morning."
Wait.
No, it's not. Shut up. It's still night at
Morning
midnight.
game.
It's not the morning. It's not even
It's
tomorrow.
not the morning until like 5:30.
But
For
Eh.
me, I would say that tomorrow starts at around 3:30 a.m.
Tomorrow starts whenever the fuck I wake up.
all right then.
Like that.
Okay, but if you like wake up in the morning and stay up all night, it's not the same day. It is morning. It is a new day. So like there has to be a break somewhere. In my mind, it's about 3:30.
All right then. In that case, shall we?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
For Kazir and for Kazir Blue, you guys start hopping ahead, and it basically again very quiet. You guys are pretty stealthy. Kazir, your footing's not as great as you would like it to be, but you're still doing okay.
I've outclassed the master.
Shoes got wet, so he's a little
Ex-
fumbly.
Exactly. You also notice Blue's a bit taller
Probably
than
not
you
as
expected.
little, so- Actually, his Kazir's boots would be pretty damn soaking right now.
Indeed.
Soggy socks.
You guys continue forward, and as you guys eventually get to the point where you see a door. About to say it seems like similar to the portcullis. It kind of seems like a door that seems a little bit more embedded in the wall. But you get a sense that if you unlock the door and everything, it'd be fine.
Is there an unlock to the door?
There is a lock to the door.
Alright, let's do this.
You want to do it, or should I? You asked Blue.
Well, you have a plus 11, I have a plus 7. So,
True, but
I think you should do it.
all right, I'll do it.
I'll give you assistance, so advantage.
I'll use Avery for this time.
Avery, please.
Oh wait,
Thank
yeah, advantage.
You have advantage.
There we go.
So
I'm
27.
helpful.
Oh yeah.
I'm being helpful.
So, because you're looking at this lock, this lock doesn't seem that complicated. It is stuck hard though. Like the cogs are having a hard time moving. Like you don't understand. Like it's almost as if the machine, like the inner mechanics of the lock, are kind of jammed or something. Like someone, basically, like the only way to like explain something like this is be like, have you ever like either dropped something so hard that like for some reason the machine like seems like the gears in a like have you ever dropped like a what would be a good way to put this? Have you ever had like either an alarm clock or like a wristwatch or something that fell to the ground and like the clock seems to like ticker?
Yeah, I get you.
Or like if you left like, or if you say you left something metal outside or something and like in the cold,
It just kind of froze up.
yeah, basically like it's not working properly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's actually kind of rough. But eventually,
It's rusted shut.
yeah. But eventually you,
Rusted shut.
but eventually you do hear that familiar, kunk kunk.
I'm hopeful.
Do you try pulling the door open?
Can I check it for traps first?
Absolutely. Roll an investigation check.
And I'm going to use Avery again, just because I have a better feeling about her than real dice right now.
Blue-
13.
Blue, are you going to assist him or?
I'm gonna check for traps as well, but also checking if there's water pressure on the other side.
Okay. So with a 13, you have a +5 to investigation, so 18.
Pretty sure that's right.
I got a 23.
Yeah, +5 to investigation.
Okay, so 18 for Kazir. You're kind of looking at it. No traps. There doesn't appear to be any. It would have to be
Oh yeah, good.
as you kind of like look on the rims of the door and checking on like the locking mechanism and in the handle and everything, there doesn't seem to be anything to implement a trap, as far as you could tell.
Cool.
And Blue, not that you could tell anyways, there doesn't seem to be, you don't feel any pressure on the door or anything. Like you don't feel it like as soon as it becomes unlocked, you don't feel it like try to push harder towards you guys.
Gonna hold onto the mace.
You guys try opening the door.
Yeah, Kazir's gonna just open it.
As you pull it, it's stuck.
Duck?
Like as you pull it, it's not moving.
Oh,
Okay.
stuck. I thought you said duck, like roll agility.
Whack.
Pull out my crowbar.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Because crowbars give you advantage without doing
All right. Roll me an athletics check.
And there's no double check, so yeah.
athletics with advantage. That would be an
18.
18 plus my athletics, which is a +2.
20.
So, dirty 20.
You are pushing and pushing and pulling and pulling. This door's not budging. Like you feel like you're getting some leeway. It is stuck tight.
Can I roll investigation to see what's causing it to stick? And
Unfortunately, I would say you can't, because as far as you can tell, the door, you guys know what you could pull towards you guys. Logically speaking, something is preventing it from being pulled forward. The problem is you can't really get the door open, so you can't see what it is.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the hinges.
Hold on. Before you do that, may I cast Commune?
I mean, are you doing that like away from the party and everything?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Do you take a moment and you cast Commune?
And before doing so, I'd say just give me 1 minute real quick. I may have a solution.
Wait,
I would like to cast
oh, we
Commune,
were alone.
Alright.
and I'd
Well, I
like
guess
to
the
get
door's
in-
not that far.
Belwraith just appeared in front of you. It's fine.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought.
Yeah,
we
no,
were-
because Kazir and Blue went ahead to lay
Never mind, then it's not an issue.
Okie dokie. They went ahead to scout it
yeah.
out.
Cancel all of that. Never mind. I thought it was like there.
Nope.
You
I-
could
Two
still
doors,
keep that and
Joe
say that we
posted.
came
Don't
back
worry about it.
because that's pretty much all we would do.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh wait, no, yeah,
Yeah,
Eldritch
Eldritch
Blast.
Blast.
Sorry, I'm burp derp.
You Eldritch Blast to the hinges, and you are successful in destroying the hinges.
Empty derp.
You pull the door.
Push
Okay.
the door.
Oh, what?
It does not budge.
I got a solution before we have to turn back. It's kind of dumb, but can I
Do it.
cast Unseen Servant on the other side of the door?
If I understand an Unseen Servant, you'd have to cast it in a place you can see.
Ah,
Okay, can we just say that would have been absolutely fucking genius if it would have worked?
Oh, it would have. Like, honestly, like, for a brief moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, but then it's like, oh, wait, no, it has to be a place you can see. It can't be.
Oh.
Mage
That's-
hand.
That's why if, like, Kazir was
yeah,
in...
but you can't really use Mage Hand if you can't see what it's doing.
That
I just
brings up a
blasted
question though.
Well, actually,
Okay,
Then I
it's,
blasted a hole in it.
this
Unseen...
is a question that doesn't relate to this campaign whatsoever. But like, say it was in a modern setting and you were looking for a security camera, could you cast Unseen Servant in the room that security camera is pointing into?
It would depend on how far away it was,
If-
because you can only cast it 60 feet away, I think.
That is correct. If it's within range, if it was a camera that was, like, not... If it was a camera outside of the room that you're in, and you cast Unseen Servant, and you could see it through a security camera, I would allow it, because that would be very smart. But only if that was the case.
He can do it.
Yeah.
Because he
But-
can cast
Alright,
it through
how-
the door.
However,
With the
how-
advanced technology,
No,
like
hold on.
300 years.
but
Kazir can cast it through the door. It's just within range and unoccupied space.
however, hold on one
You
second.
don't need to see it.
You don't need to see it. I thought it had to be in a place you
You
could
do
see.
not.
I just copy and pasted it from
Oh.
the wiki.
Hold on.
A plus
Oh
4
wait,
step
I need a
performs
piece
simple
of string
tasks.
and a bit of
Add
wood.
Creates an invisible mindless,
Add your
shapeless
command.
force that performs different tasks in an unoccupied space on the ground within range. All right. It does
Yeah,
not.
good shit.
Range.
It just says unoccupied space on the ground within range. All right, fair enough.
Good shit, Kazir. You're smart.
I could use the would the handle of a weapon count as a piece of wood?
I would.
If
Well,
you
it.
don't have-
You do actually have a.
Spellcasting focus.
You do have a spellcasting focus.
Oh,
If you remember correctly, there's a certain amount of moss that's still on your that's still in your fur.
oh, okay, cool.
That
I
is,
didn't remember that. I thought you said it washed off.
Nope. About to say,
Okay, cool.
most of it washed off. Just the one section of moss or moss that's mixed into your fur on your.
Oh,
If I remember
can
correctly,
you
your
talk?
right arm.
Could an unseen servant talk?
As far as I
No.
know, they cannot because they don't have mouths.
Yeah.
They also don't have bodies.
I'll cast it anyways and get to try and unlock the door or unbar the door if it can.
Okie dokie.
Simple task. Open the door.
All right. You basically you cast it, and so you cast Unseen Servant,
Yeah.
and you can feel the servant's presence in your mind on the other side of the door. What do you command it to open the door?
Yeah.
You hear the sound of someone like pressing on a door.
Slight creak of the door as it
like
The unseen servant tries to push on it.
Yeah, basically you can hear the door like kind of creaking slightly, but you're not hearing it. Like you're not seeing it move. You feel basically you feel in your head the unseen servant cannot accomplish this task.
Does it disappear or is it still there?
Oh no, it lasts an hour.
Okay, cool.
You-
I wasn't sure if it failed the task, would it disappear?
Nope.
It's not a me. It's like a me 6.
It's not a me 6.
Or...
If it can't do the task, it goes,
I'm species. Look at me.
Well, I don't know. You know, it says once completed, then failing is kind of part of that. So, you know, in a way.
No, I hear you. I hear.
Okay, can I command it to try and find a way to open the door?
You can certainly try.
Oh, wait. No, that wouldn't work. That would be a cheat. I was thinking I could have Blue try to contact the unseen servant, but that wouldn't work. Yes.
it's my.
Yeah, I have it. See if it can find a way to open the door.
Should I just Eldritch Blast the door into oblivion?
It's a steel door. Good luck.
Okay, I'm gonna just cast message back to the party.
Okay.
Telling the Lord
We need
there's
help.
a door that we can't open. A steel door we can't.
Which on a side note, because you're on the other side of the door, you suddenly hear like a bang, a rhythmic banging on the door.
Copy it.
Specifically around the middle section of the door. You assume that he's trying to get to a handle, or it's trying to get to a handle.
You just pointlessly gender something.
Well, it's an unseen servant, so I was about to say he, but then I'm like, oh wait, no, unseen servant. So technically they.
Yeah, it would be a ghostish.
I mean, it would be the preference of whoever the caster is. So
Oh,
if
well
you
then just for heck's sake, it's a she.
What are your things pronouns?
Just for heck's sake, a she.
you hear some banging toward that banging sound towards the center of the door around, you would assume around where the handle is. It seems like the unseen servant can't get to the handle.
Interesting. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Are you doing the thing where we have to turn the handle?
You tried turning the handle, it didn't work.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
I was about to say that would be the funniest elaborate ruse I've ever played, but no.
Well, I mean, we didn't say try to. We just said pull on the door and, you know.
But
Anyway, I'm gonna cast message back to a Lord
okay.
saying there's a door, a steel door that we can't open.
Farron kind of turns to all of you. Apparently, they seem to be having issues with the door.
Sounds like Blue.
Let's go take.
Hey.
Let's go take a look.
Be glad he wasn't there.
Actually, Farron takes one step and he's like, "Actually, why don't you all take the lead? I'd rather stay close to my people and make sure they're safe."
I'll go.
Okay, thank you.
I'll come with you.
I don't trust you.
Damn.
I'm
What?
kidding.
Oh, harsh.
Why the drive-by?
Let's go. Come on.
So,
Mark.
Always kind of got the flashbanged and just hesitates before following.
so Belwraith and Garnam move forward.
Before moving onward, I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm not sure what they tried, but if it's not a simple pull or push door, it's locked. Either keeping something in or keeping something out.
It's the two rogues of the party. I imagine they would try to find a lock.
Exactly. The bar is just as fine of a lock as the lock is.
Let's go. We'll figure it out when we get there.
We also haven't fought anything today.
I wouldn't jinx it. Let's go. Come on. Garnan starts leading the way.
Okie dokie. So you.
I am following behind. Beside more.
I'm sure with the biggest guys at the party, we could just force it open.
Alright, so. As you guys get up to the door, immediately. You guys. But I say. Kazir and Blue, you see Garnan and Belwraith leading the pack. Everyone else seems to kind of be leaning backwards.
There, tight tunnel.
Okay. What have you tried, and what have you not tried?
We unlocked it and tried blasting the hinges and tried pulling it open. Nothing happened. I even have an unseen servant on the other side who can't seem to open it.
Okay. Any ideas?
More strength. Sorry.
You want me to just try to pull it open?
Smack it. You're the
Okay.
stronger.
I'll cast guidance on.
Let me
that one.
borrow your. You have a mace, right, Belwraith?
I do.
Let
I
me
have
borrow
a
it.
crowbar.
Oh, yeah, actually, that'll be better. Give me.
I'll cast guidance on.
Garnan. Alright. So, Garnan, I need you to roll athletics check with advantage.
Inspiration.
And add a D4 onto it.
And a D8.
And a D8?
And a
Pulling out
D8.
all this shit today. Okay, that's a 5 on the D8. There's a 1 on the D4, so 6 plus. Okay.
I
Double
don't like
15?
this door.
So 6 plus 15 is 21 plus athletics, you said?
Yep.
25 total.
That's just enough.
Oh,
Garnan, this
Welcome.
door is stuck. And,
Jesus fucking Christ!
and as soon as and suddenly you just hear a as you finally see an edge of the door, and as soon as the crowbar gets to it, you just kind of jam your hand into it, and you just start yanking harder. Just like,
At this point, at that point where there's a crack, I'd also be helping.
all right, so you watch as Belwraith kind of gets towards the like closer to the bottom of the door, and basically I imagine Belwraith's
No. I got this. I'm
Sure.
determined now.
you guys both just finally you pull it completely, and as you pull it off, you just hear and then you watch as you pull it out, and you now see why the door was like stuck. There's a solid layer of ice on the other side of it, like thick ice.
Let me have that ball. Or that mace.
No.
I'll give you my spare one.
Garnan, just staring directly at Belwraith, holds a hand out towards Blue, waiting
I'm
for the
gonna-
mace to be put in his hand.
This
I didn't
Ice?
realize I was muted.
fun
So I
thing
just
about
summoned the
ice-
unseen servant in a solid block of ice.
No, you see if you look through the door, you do see that instead of there being a bunch of water, you see ice and snow.
Oh.
A fun
That's-
thing about ice is that it does.
So it's like a
wonders
sheet of ice
for
and
Yeah.
then an empty room.
And in the little section of snow, you see two little footprints.
I give him the north.
Given the mace.
Yeah.
All right.
my
Mash
God.
it up, big guys.
Blue, you wanna doot to me?
What? So,
Just smack it.
I mean, you still have guidance as well.
Okay.
Just smack. Guidance doesn't work on attacks, but just smack it.
Oh yeah. Well, it could be.
Good- I'm gonna go Engie.
All right. You're gonna rage. You're gonna rage.
Be Gumpy.
Or are you gonna reckless?
Stupid fucking eyes! Whack.
All right. Have you roll?
Is this an
3
attack roll?
attacks.
I would say this is an attack roll.
Okay, I'm gonna do it reckless.
All right.
Ooh. What? That's the second
just
time in a
because-
row I've rolled the same number twice.
Oh,
So 25.
hopefully it was a good number.
It was an 18, so yeah, it was good. It was
Nice.
weird. Why Winter noise suppression is off for you on Discord? I don't know if you know that or not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um, so that was an attack to hit with a gnarled mace, right?
Yeah.
Not
Is it
tomorrow.
No,
anything?
Morning Star, it's a D8 plus.
Not what
It
I'm
does
asking. Is it a
nothing,
plus
so
1 or a
just-
plus 2?
Neither.
Neither.
Okay.
It's just similar to your
18
Ravage.
plus 8 is 26.
26. All right. That absolutely. You're. Better say you are. I'm not even gonna say you don't necessarily need to roll damage for this. It mostly is just like how hard you're hitting it essentially.
Fair.
You guys watch as like Garnan just kind of lets that anger out, and you watch as his muscles just kind of like bulge for a moment as he starts whacking through the ice. It takes
Including his dick.
it takes a moment. Like, it takes a solid minute of Garnan just literally time after time smashing into this ice for you to finally hear a as the ice shatters around the entryway. There is now the ice is gone, so you can actually see directly into this room. There's a lot of ice on the floor and a lot of snow.
Why does it kind of
That's
look like from its Invader Zim?
Oh my
You know,
god, it does.
No. But it does.
But it does look like it.
It does, actually.
I'm gonna go
I'm
inside
over.
because
You
I'm
better not be
resistant.
tweaking.
I'm pretty sure I'm also resistant to ice, but I'm checking just to be sure.
I'm
I-
resistant to fire.
These aren't, are they?
I would say
Goliaths
I would say Garnan, because of where you come from, I would say when it comes to the weather of snow and ice, I would say you just have a natural like handle on it. Unless this was like particularly bad, you don't have. It's not going to give you any negative effects.
I meant like resistance to ice damage.
Only Goliaths do.
Only Goliaths do. It's
Okay, no, I have a lot of magic items though, and it adds
Oh yeah.
Resistant to necrotic.
necrotic
Nice.
and poison, or psychic. I mean,
Specifically.
so yeah, no, I'm good. I don't. I mean,
All right. So, do you guys walk into the room?
Yeah.
I just saw that.
So as you guys walk into the room, you guys notice that this place is pretty darn this is definitely the throne room. You do notice a few things. First things first, there's no ceiling anymore.
It's just a void, or is it like
It's
the
you
sky?
can see the sky, which seems kind of a bit cloudy at the moment.
Well, fuck.
And you do see, but the thing is, it doesn't look like it's snowing, but there's a lot of snow around. It is winter, however, so you guys do know that that's. But it seems a bit weird to have this much snow near the coast, especially like as far south as it is. The Exeter Desert's not that far away. It is not that far away. So it's a bit off.
Bimp never sees snow in her life for a living. Correct?
Yeah.
Oh.
As you guys are kind of walk in to investigate, it just seems very odd.
does Farron have a weapon?
Farron has a weapon, but Farron's back there.
Oh, okay.
Which, as you guys are walk into this room,
Like the sound of that.
I hide.
and in this vast amount of white, you hide,
Heartbroken.
and suddenly you just hear.
Perfect.
I don't feel like talking this one down.
And
Let's fucking kill it.
and suddenly suddenly you just hear a as you
Oh no.
as you look up and you see staring down at you a large. You've seen a creature like this before, but this one is a larger A white
Don't you dare.
dragon.
No. Oh, fuck me.
Oh,
And that
you
and that's
fucker!
where we're gonna end tonight's session.
Oh, you fucker!
He seems like quite the conversationalist.
A white fucking dragon? Are you God, fuck.
What?
Good thing I still have it. Oh, wait, do I have any of those arrows left?
Here's a fun question that's up for debate.
Yes.
Would a white dragon have resistance or weakness to fire damage?
You don't know. It's as much as Belwraith would
I
know.
thought
Um,
one.
well, from what we saw in fighting the first one, neither.
But
The thing about dragons is that they typically
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have vulnerabilities. They just have resistances.
yeah, I know that. But like, this goes for like any elementals as well. So like the fire. Would they
So-
be
resistant.
Like if you were to fight a snow elemental and you hit it with fire, they have a vulnerability to fire, so it does extra damage.
Oh, good, I
Elemental.
still have 4 of those arrows.
But the thing is, unless it's an elemental, they typically don't. Except for with certain creatures, like trolls in particular, absolutely hate fire. But everyone's like, "Oh, is it because they're weak to it?" It's like, no, it's because it negates their healing effects.
Yes.
So they just have a natural hatred for fire.
Ah. Dang it.
Wizard,
Yes.
I'd like to say one thing in game before we stop.
Yes.
Blue's just going to yell at the top of his lungs, "Dragon!"
That's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Yeah, that's actually
100%.
a pretty good call because it's warning the cities behind us.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm telling them
I mean,
to
hey,
back away.
worst case scenario, we
Oh,
all die and the civvies have extra food.
Yeah.
I do love
Best
how
case scenario.
I asked you guys. It's like, do you guys walk in? Yeah, we walk in, and it's just like, yeah, there's a lot of snow and ice. All of a sudden, Tiny's like, wait a minute, didn't Bim say that she's never seen snow in her life? It's like, yeah. It's like,
Oh,
it's like, oh.
yeah.
Best case scenario, we all survive, we kill the dragon, we cook the dragon, we feed the people.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's an argument
that's
there.
the best case scenario.
There were two things I was thinking that were here. Either a white dragon, or something I would hate you much more,
Oh,
a storm giant.
oh, that would be mean.
That would be me.
Yeah.
That would be particularly mean.
Fair.
And also,
Aren't storm giants like neutral?
yeah, storm giants are actually good. They're actually good people.
They're good.
Like they
Yeah,
don't.
could-
we could be like,
So in
Yeah,
theory,
we
we could
could be like-
reason with one.
exactly, we could be like, yeah, we have no idea where we are, trying to figure out where we are.
Storm giants are typically very just and believe in like equality. The issue is that you don't find storm giants very often. They're very seldom. They don't like being around people. They like to be solitary, basically.
Yeah, so basically would be impossible
And also, you'd sooner find them.
to have a storm
No.
giant here.
You would-
Well, I mean, it's in a city that
Not
had people
impossible.
and
You
I
would
know, not
you would
well,
sooner.
highly improbable.
Yeah, you would find a storm giant, and also storm giants walk the bottom of the oceans. Basically,
Oh,
you would
I'm
find.
thinking it was a cloud giant.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
It's like cold.
about to say, if you guys were more to the, sorry, hold on, more to the west, towards where where the troll folk are from, you'd actually find a lot more giants there. About to say,
That's fair.
and also in Tuscadal, which Garnan would know, there are more giants up north. But because of the fact that there's less population to deal with. However, there are still like hill giants in Atharia. There are still like some other giants in Atharia. You guys saw a Cyclops that was attacking Makanali that Garnan talked down. It does
pardon
happen.
me.
It does
Fair.
happen. It's just very far and few. You're gonna find a lot more
Man, I
giants.
wish we could keep going. I'm really wide awake.
Well, it's already like 3 a.m. and
Yeah,
I'm
that's fair.
I'm kind of keeping my voice down.
Yeah,
Trying to
that's fair.
trying to keep my voice down because there's a sleeping baby in the next room.
Oh, that's fair.
You know what? I have an idea for that baby.
Sorry, I heard.
Look
That's
in
it.
chat.
Looking at chat.
The baby gift. God.
From breakdance to breakdown, indeed.
She's the baby.
I thought that was secret.
She's
Wait.
the baby.
So now my question for you guys is: so how was tonight's session?
It was good.
Very good. I was able to roleplay, but I haven't been able to do that in a couple sessions.
But I say, what about you? For you, Walf and Tiny.
Me like you. I sure do like listening to robots.
Beep, boop, bop.
Poppy.
Beep.
Hello.
Ooh.
Hello.
Okay, you're clear. We hear you now.
I want to fight the dragon.
And you guys shall, but I'm also going to make sure you guys have a map so you can actually like keep track of where you're at.
Yay!
Because I feel like distance.
It's like a 5x5 room.
Yeah. Oh god. No, it's a throne room. It's a decent sized room, which you guys know that. That's the only.
Wait, isn't it flooded? Like the whole area is
It is.
supposed to...
It would be flooded.
Looks down, it exhales, we all die.
It would be flooded, except for the fact you notice that the floor is ice.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, probably what would have happened is the dragon froze the ice, and then it's like, didn't...
Which, if you guys, I'm surprised you guys aren't asking the bigger questions, like, why the fuck is there a white dragon here?
Well, that's a little
Why
bit
we're careful.
later of a question.
Hey, the reason I'm not asking it is because it's a fucking mage's tower. They can do whatever they please.
The
Tiny,
reason
We've-
Kazir wouldn't be questioned...
you're not sleeping, right? You want to play Apex?
I mean, everyone in my house is kind of asleep, so
Okay.
Hey,
Never mind.
wow.
Hmm.
You're not sleeping, right? You
Mm,
want to play
not for a
ready
while.
or not? You want to play ready or not?
Is it free?
No, it's like $40.
Where the fuck do you expect me to get the money for that?
Well, hopes and prayers.
Wait, how
Can
much
I
money do you need?
can I pay for
Yeah,
games with
no doubt.
hopes and prayers?
But yeah, the reason Kazir wouldn't be questioning it is it's like, ask questions later.
I'm talking
Kill
about.
now.
I'm talking about above game. I'm surprised no one's like, where the fuck did this come from?
Oh, I am kind of wondering that now, but you know.
Blue doesn't
But again-
care. We fought a white dragon here before.
Oh yeah,
Just makes
that's
sense.
probably why Kazir. Oh,
Holy
it's
shit.
Mama, isn't it?
That's the mother.
We fought
Oh,
a
it's
baby before.
Angry Mama
That's gonna be the fucking mother.
or Dad. Shit.
No, I'm the mother. Ooh, God, that's bad.
The dragon, the dragon has a zipper. Unzips. It was Belwraith all along.
It was me, Belwraith, and
Dragon,
it was
hold it up.
all along.
Well, 2 people in this party have resistance to full damage, so this is fine.
Belwraith
There-
unzips. It was a white dragon all along.
I'm gonna go.
How did
That was
they
a
do
white
that?
Dragonborn. Oh god,
I'm
that
gonna go try and stab it in the leg. Poke it.
No. It wasn't a white dragon. He wasn't a white dragon born. He was like a white dragon.
I know. It just crossed my mind of white dragonborn would be kind of
I've tried
cool.
playing Dragonborn. They do exist. I've tried playing Dragonborn before.
I knew
Dragonborn,
Dragonborn did, but I
Dragonborn.
wasn't sure if class of Dragonborns, like red Dragonborn, white Dragonborn, yada.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it-
you can.
Array
I
of-
never played one Dragonborn, and I fucking hated him.
I honestly like playing a Dragonborn. It was fun.
I really-
Well, it was just the way I played the character. It was really bland and boring.
That's fair.
I've played
have
a
tried-
fighter and a bard. Both of them sucked because Dragonborns.
Dragonborns are typically warriors or very charismatic people, so like sorcerers.
I just
I
can't get into Dragonborn all that much. I want to like it. I can't.
Fair.
their abilities are really lessened.
They're kind of situational.
Yay.
Yeah,
Very
and that's why I just don't care.
Oh,
I really, really like the line breath weapon because I had a javelin of lightning or something, and it was like a 30-foot line, and I hit like 7 people with it,
Yeah, I love it when they line up.
and it was just perfect. So I really like line spells and cone spells.
Yep.
AoE. I should play wizard more often. That's actually my backup character is a wizard.
Duly noted. But yeah, no. When it comes to Dragonborns, like personally, I like them. I think they're cool. As a DM, early on, and when I was doing my first demon camp-based campaign, years and years ago, the party didn't really have somebody to help them, like, be defensive. They were a lot of like DPS. I decided to create a character just for them to have an ally with them that could take a hit. He was a oh gosh, what was his scale color? I believe I chose him to be a green dragonborn, a fighter named Patron. and I personally liked him. He was fun. I liked writing his story and like his personal quest for like the party to explore his background and everything. I didn't like I used to like back then and still now. I don't like my NPCs being the main character. So, but they do have an interesting story. That's for sure.
I mean, yeah, you're allowed to make your characters have an interesting story.
No, you're not. Fuck you.
You got a good point. There you
We
go.
can
Just
be right here.
remove all of your character stories. They are now.
But yeah, so like all the characters you guys are with, they have their own stories. However, I am gonna end the stream real fast, and then there was one other thing I wanted to discuss with you guys.
This was not for the public eye.
Yes.
Out of here.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, be gone. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoy. And if you did, make sure you click that like button. And hopefully, guys, I'll see every single one of you in the next stream. See you guys.